Yeah. I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
There we go. And hello, hello, hello. What is today? Monday. Sorry. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, is it Friday or is it Monday? Shoot. Anyways, hey guys, welcome to the live. Tonight's live is going to be about CARLEE Russell. As you can tell, there's a poll there as well. Basically, it's one of those things. Is it fact or is it fiction? So actually, let's just see what you guys are showing so far for all of you unsure what to think. Is what people, I'm pretty sure I know what to think, to be honest with you. But we'll get into that in a few moments, of course. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Hey.
I've been thinking about this all day because I know, we talked about this, and I don't want to, what everyone else thinks is, of course, their opinion. I've been really conflicted over this because, we don't know all the facts. And so, where my mind and my gut personally go are still different than where I am willing to go publicly, mainly because I don't know everything, if that makes any sense. But
yeah. There was a video I did the other day with regards to this. And basically I said that in my head, there was like 3 options. And those options were that it was true. Second option is that it wasn't a small kid. It was more of a small, person. Or third. What'd you say?
A Richard Allen.
Yeah, smaller even. Or that it was staged to look like it. Now, I personally said that I didn't believe that in that video, but that was a lie, to be honest with you. I just didn't feel like getting attacked that day. So those were my 3 options.
Right.
And you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, we're going to go into it because again, right now it's really just our personal opinions. And again, but just to state regardless is that at the end of the day, regardless, and whatever, say karma or consequences or whatever become of this or nothing or whatever, is that this girl, regardless, is alive. And that's what matters the most about everything. Like
I heard someone say, and I thought it resonated with me because the most important thing, regardless of how I feel personally or what, people might speculate, the most important thing in my opinion is that this girl's family is not planning a funeral right now. And the fact that they're not planning a funeral right now means that any of the 3 possibilities that you suggested, you know what, that'll be what it is. But the fact that this girl is alive and her family does not have to plan her funeral is all that we really need to know. But
well,
you know,
I was going to say that. I mean,
then you go into does the public have a right to know things when they've been asked for their help? But you know,
in this particular case, I think that the public does have a right to know, for because of all the definitely the discrepancies. I mean, I think that regardless, that this should become like this. Like, this isn't supposed to be about hiding facts. It's supposed to be about true facts that the police give out. And in this particular case, you know, I don't think this is one of those things, oh, we need to hold it close to our vest type of idea. No. Now, are they looking for a suspect? Well, no, there's nothing out there in the news that
not that we've seen.
Yeah. No,
but if you listen to the boyfriend, you know, I mean, that's a whole different story. So I mean, I know we'll get into all of it.
Yeah.
So well, like I said, this case has really interested me in a lot of ways, and I think most people know. Like I caught onto it really, really quick, and I've been surprised and impressed by the immediate nature that her case caught national attention. Because, you know, we know that, you know, not all, you know, sometimes people that aren't blonde hair and blue eyes don't immediately get the attention that some people do. And
this one did.
The fact that CARLEE's case caught on so quickly, and, you know, had so much attention. I mean, I think probably the facts that we knew about the case early on are what drew people into it. I mean, it's what caught my attention. You know, woman driving along an interstate, sees a toddler walking and stops and then disappears. Of course, I was zeroed in immediately. Like, we were doing that stream on the Long Island SK that night, and I was like, have y'all seen the woman that went missing last night in Alabama?
Yeah. Jeff's working probably on Idaho stuff, Mustang. Because that's the case that he's mostly involved in. In fact, Jeff's been putting out a lot of videos to do with the car and Koberger, and there's a lot of stuff going on with the Koberger case, you know, like another update, so, and stuff like that. And so this case here, Adam kind of caught on to it first. I do want to say one thing though about this. What did tick me off a bit is when the brother put out a video on Twitter, and he basically he did pull out the race card, and that was, to me, so basically the brother had said that, and this was like way like into the days, like on the second day, it was 6 hours, and this case had already had all this attention. And then he put out this Twitter thing basically saying that that it hadn't got national attention like other cases, and you know why that is. And he pulled out the race card, discriminated, and that pissed me off. That really pissed me off.
It's funny because I normally would agree with him, because I mean, I do think it's a fact that, you know, there are certain cases, and, you know, that get more attention than others, and, you know, I don't think there's any way to even deny the fact that it can involve the fact
happens,
that
absolutely
people, you know, missing adult men don't get the attention that women do. Missing people of color typically don't get the attention that, you know, blonde hair, blue-eyed white women get, or children get. And hopefully that's changing. And, you know, I would disagree with him, because in this case, I was impressed by how quickly the nation and the world really embraced CARLEE and felt a kinship to her in a way, regardless of everyone's race or, you know, gender or anything. And not to mention, she went missing the same night that the Long Island SK was arrested, which is a major
on your birthday.
Right, that's a major true crime case that's been going on for years and years, and that clearly dominated the national news coverage of true crime that day. But the fact that CARLEE's case got that much attention and so quickly caught on, I think is a testament to hopefully.
That's why I'm going to finish that sentence in a second. That's
Sorry.
why it pissed me off, though, because this was like a day and a half later when this case had gathered a ton of attention, and then he put that out there, and that's why it ticked me off that was included in it. I can understand because I get it. I get, just like the Flora fires never got the attention that the Delphi did. So I totally, absolutely get that. But for the fact that this case did instantly ramp up right away. So I just thought that comment was a little bit uncalled for, considering, for me, like, I get it, right? Like that racism and all that stuff goes on, and that cases and all that stuff. But in this particular case, I'm going to have to disagree with them absolutely, because this case ramped up and like right away. And I was glad for that, because right now, like, again, mainstream media catches on and whatever story they want to choose. And typically, it's going to be about like a certain demographic, typically, like even like with the Nicola Bully story, you got this pretty mom that just disappeared, and, why they pick
John Bonet effect.
It is. But either way, at the end of the day, even though we're going to discuss the fact or fiction stuff tonight, bottom line is I'm glad that CARLEE is alive and well, regardless of what the story is behind it. Do I still care about what happened to lead up to this? Because there are way more red flags than there is to believe that this actually did happen. But again, this is all speculation. But just remembering that CARLEE being alive is the utmost important thing here, regardless if it was a hoax, a planned thing, whatever the reason. It doesn't matter. She's alive. She's alive.
And even though I disagree with what her brother put on Twitter, I'll give him a pass, because he's a family member going through a traumatic experience, and if that's where his mind went, it's probably representative of things that he's experienced in his past. And anyone going through a family member missing, I'll give them a pass.
I can understand it. Yes, I get it. Give him a pass. But it's not like it didn't tick me off, and it's because I don't think that way. I don't give a crap what skin color you have or anything. Everyone is just important as anyone else. But it's just because it struck a nerve with me. Like, dude, don't pull this card right now, okay? Like, if it was it was barely getting any attention, okay, you want to pull that card, pull it. But it wasn't. But whatever, okay, whatever.
And,
it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
No, that's at the end of the day for that. At the end of the day, I get it. It's kind of like an abuser being abused, just like for me, if people have certain things that trigger things, so he could have been feeling that way, even though I didn't feel that way. I felt like, whoa, no, this case is caught on. Dude, what are you talking about? Like, we're all sitting here working hard to push it out there to the media, and it was just blowing up. So and it was because it was a day and a half after that I was like, what are you talking about? That it's not catching the national attention it deserves, because
all over the
Yeah. So that's what struck the chord with me on that one. But anyway,
I think more than ethnicity, I think what it shows is that, sadly, what it takes for a case to hit the national news quickly anymore is some extraordinary, kind of bizarre, fact in the case. Like in Idaho, we had 4 college students in one night. In this case, of course, what drew me to CARLEE's case the first time I saw it was that a woman went missing after seeing a toddler walking along the interstate. So there was this, like kind of like with Delphi, we had Libby's video of BG, like that's part of what compelled a lot of people to that case right away. And, so, I mean, had this just been a run-of-the-mill disappearance, none of us probably would have known CARLEE's name. But the fact that there was this whole other thing attached to it made people kind of take attention to it.
Yeah. Oh. So, okay, hold on. This one. Hold on. Let me I know I have the screenshot, but let me just screenshot this again instead, and then bring it into the. I'll just stop and bring it into the other one on there, just to make it easier, so I can zoom in. Well, and then we're gonna look at the video again. Okay, so this was from the boyfriend. Come on now.
Right. I've watched a couple of his TikToks.
Okay. So this is on Instagram, you guys. Can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. So Instagram. I don't even know how to start this post, but I wanted to say thank you to my Lord, Savior, and Jesus Christ for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who has shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with the search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about CARLEE to bring more awareness to her story. I have been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday night. I know she would have done the same for me, so I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. I was straight tunnel vision, even when I would get on social media on my downtime and see some of the false allegations and assumptions about me having something to do. Oh, I didn't see anyone, like I personally didn't see anyone blaming him, but you know that's happening for sure. I just didn't see it. False allegations and assumptions about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged at times, but I didn't give up and kept my faith. I just want to thank all my family, friends, former teammates, and church members who called or texted me just to let me know that they were praying and here for me. You guys don't know how much that meant to me. All I ask from everyone right now is to be respectful of CARLEE's situation. She was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours. So until she's physically and mentally stable again, she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper at this very moment. Obviously, that sentence right there is striking a lot of chords with people, which I knew it would as soon as I saw it. Also, I want to thank the people on social media who have been understanding and respectful about what she's been through in these past few days. Once again, I can't thank you enough for helping us bring CARLEE home. God bless you all. Okay, so and then we'll just show a picture of CARLEE and her guy right there. And again, I mean, I'm not going to keep re-saying this, but I'm just glad that she's alive. Like when you work in true crime, you're just glad, regardless regardless of which way this turns, that this person is still walking on this planet today. And again, if it was a hoax and whatever, then there'll be repercussions to pay for that. And if it wasn't, then again, regardless, right. God bless the fact that she's home and that she is safe and she is alive.
Exactly. And I think, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think, and I think ultimately, regardless of the circumstances around her disappearance or why she went missing or where she was while she was missing, I mean, either way, her and her family have a lot of healing to do. And I agree with her boyfriend. I do hope that they're all given the respect and privacy that are needed to do that. I do think that when the public's asked for their help and there are public resources used to search for someone, I do think the public is probably owed some sort of explanation at some point. But that's not the first priority in my book. I think that her and her family healing has got to be number one.
Well, I mean, I think it's a two-way thing. You got the police investigation side, and then you have the CARLEE's at home. Whichever way the story turns out to be, regardless, the pain and the suffering that everyone was going through with the not knowing, that has to be the most horrendous feeling for any parent, sibling, other half, boyfriend, whatever, regardless.
100.
So whether it was a hoax or whether this is fact or fiction, at the end of the day, my hearts go out to those family members, regardless, that had to even feel this, but at least at the end of the day, they got to feel the rejoice of seeing CARLEE. But we are going to go through the different facts or fiction things. We are going to go through the different things that I believe I consider to be red flags. And then we'll go through the things that perhaps aren't red flags as well. My video of the footage just dropped on this one.
Is there new footage, or is this the footage from the traffic cams that came out? I'm just curious. But everyone, I dropped Deb's link in the chat, so go subscribe to Deb's channel if you're watching.
Hey, Deb. I heard a link rotates in here, but if you dropped it, then that's good as well. Okay, I just want to look at the poll for 1 second before we play this. So 32% are at fake, 43 unsure, 14 don't care, she is safe, and 11, of course, she is telling the truth. So that's most are kind of sitting there with the unsure thing still. So let me just play the footage. You'll see where I did a freeze frame and where I put a yellow box around it. But anyway, so let's just do that. About what, little over 4 minutes long. But I don't think well, I'll just play it.
Right. Real quickly, Charles, her car was found along the side of the interstate, which you'll see in this footage. Her car was found, her phone was found, some other personal belongings were found in the car. And she had phoned 911 to say she saw a toddler walking along the side of the road. Once she hung up with 911, 911 started to respond with officers. I think they were less than 5 minutes out. She called her sister-in-law or her brother's girlfriend. I've heard both. And she was on the phone with her. She apparently could be overheard asking someone if they were okay. No voice was heard responding. A scream was heard, and then nothing's heard after that other than interstate noise is what her sister-in-law or her brother's girlfriend said. So, her car and everything was left right there, and her phone was left on. So I hope that answered your question. Sorry, Sunny.
No, it's okay. No, and Deb, the other day, 2 days ago, I put out a video in multiple zooms and original zoomed in and all that stuff. This one today, I got the little yellow box around it and an arrow to the part that means anything in this, to be honest with you. It's dark. I played with this thing all day to see if there was something more that can be done with it. At the end of the day, honestly, we'll just keep it for the most part zoomed in. I think this one is 50%, and keep it. Well, anyways, I'll just play it. You guys, and then we'll just talk about it.
Do you know the best editing of the footage that I've seen was TMZ?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. I only saw a still shot, but I was like, I mean, it was.
Oh, do you want to send me that?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna play. There's no sound to it either, guys. Okay, that's where the car door opens up. And same thing here. That's the car door opening up, guys. Okay, no more. Oh, shit. Okay, that's the person coming out of the car where the arrow is. Same thing. Now the driver is on the passenger side. Okay, that's just showing the person right there. And this is pretty much, after this point, this is pretty much when you're not going to see much else. Okay, no. Okay, no. I'm just going to go back for a second here. Okay, 1 second, Adam. Adam, those ones with the yellow on it, just by the way, those pictures that you're sending me, those mean nothing. Those arrows to that yellow, that's just coming.
Yeah,
okay.
I know the arrow. Like it was just like the clarity. I thought they did a really good job with it.
Oh, okay. So again, that's like the person there. But what got me was there was something else that got me. Right here, I think he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see. No, there's another vehicle right here. See this vehicle right there? See this?
We can't see your cursor, Sonny.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, hold on. Let me just go back a bit again.
That's when she's.
No, but you know how her flashers are on?
Mm-hmm.
Then there was this other vehicle that looked like they had
Like
their
run.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah,
that was early on in the video.
Yeah, no, it was at this point. That's why I just went back. Yeah, like it is early on, but it's we should see it in a second here.
Right, and they go past her, but their flashers are still on.
Right, and then they go over to the side where you can't see.
Which, you know, I mean, they may have put their flashers on only because she was on the side of the road with her flashers on. Some drivers will do that to, you know, if they,
right there.
Anyone pulled over.
Yeah. Could be. It doesn't make sense though because he keeps going by with his flashers on. So this is the car right here. Look down in the bottom of the screen, guys, and just watch that car as I play it, just for the sake of watching it. So I thought that was really strange myself. See, flashes on now. Would that by chance be a gray truck or something like that?
Right, and I think in Alabama you do have to pull over to, if there's a car pulled over on the side of the road, you have to get in the other lane technically. So it doesn't seem odd to me that they put flashers on, but because they never stop.
She's on the emergency lane where you kind of pull over. What you're saying to me doesn't make sense. I've never seen anyone in Canada ever do that. Put on their flashers because the only time I've seen somebody put on their flashers is when they actually go behind the person to try to help them. I've never personally seen that.
But I've seen it, but that's, but just, I guess everyone's probably had experience.
But the car still has it on. Like,
Right. He keeps them on for a while, but he never stops.
no.
He stays slow and then he speeds back up.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, there's a couple things that could have happened here, because there is a point where you kind of think that the body goes off where this sign is here. Here, let me come out
Mhm.
of here for a sec now. Okay. I'm gonna.
Mustang said it's an American thing.
I don't know about that, to be
Well, do
honest
you guys
with
have a
you.
law in Canada, like like in North Carolina? I think Alabama is the same way. I looked this up the other day, and I think is if there's a car in the emergency lane, whether it be a car pulled over or whether it be a police officer, whoever it is, that if you're in the right lane of traffic on the interstate, you legally, if you're able to, you have to get over into the left lane to pass safely. And so, like when I saw that car turn their flashers on, they were in the right lane, and there was cars behind them, and then they got into the left lane, and so I took that as them just warning the people behind them that there was a car off to the right, and as they safely passed around the car in the left-hand lane, they kept their flashers on for a while and then turned them off once they sped away.
Hold on a second here. Let me come out of there. Hold on a second. Seen a lot of footage, not being rude at all. Everyone is wasting their time on this BS. She faked it all a lot. Actually, whoever
Hey, Ken.
just it's everyone's entitled to their opinion here when it comes to that. I mean, this is I'm blurry. This is about fact or fiction. This live.
Mhm.
If somebody wants to say that this was all fake, they can. And if you want to say that you don't agree with that, you can. It's just about
Thousand.
yeah, it's just about being respectful. I mean, this live is about, is it fake or is it fiction? And everyone is entitled to their opinion. It's not as long as they're not attacking the channel. Other than that, everyone has a right to feel or think what they want. To be honest with you,
Right.
because there is a ton of red flags here, and we're just kind of going to go through that. Sorry, my camera, but I wanted. Let me just pull up.
And I
So
mean,
so
I'll say quickly that even and like I said, I'm not about to pass judgment on what because I don't know. I don't have all the facts. I don't know what was going on in Carlee's mind. I don't know what happened on that road.
yeah.
But even if this was even if this was a decision that she made to escape her life or situation or whatever, it breaks my heart just as much that what was
Someone
happening,
would do that.
that
Yeah.
what was happening that got someone to the point where this was the decision that they made. And I'm not passing judgment when I say that. I just, I'm like, so I find it compelling either way. But, I'm just curious. I'm just curious what people think and what's going on.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear more
Just
from the police, to be honest.
yeah. But this channel, again, besides it being attacking and people being verbally abusive to either the channel or somebody else on purpose and stuff like that, other than that, this channel is all about having your opinions, because everyone is entitled to those. And as long as it's said without being an attacking thing towards somebody else, that's perfectly fine here. If this world was so perfect, God, we would be a boring ass world if that's the case. It's just I just want everyone to feel like they're welcome here. That has, like I said, that keeps of course kindness and respect and how they say something at the top level here. That's all that we
Right.
care about.
Right. Now, if you agree with Sunny and I about everything, then I mean that's a bonus.
I'd be a more,
I'm
we're just
kidding.
like any. Well, I was going to say, we just simply have a YouTube channel, a couple YouTube channels here, and we're able to try to, because I personally like to deep dive into things myself, and Adam does, and Deb does, and stuff like that. This is just an outlet to go over some of the information and let people decide for themselves one way or the other. That's really the gist of it. We tried to put out the most factual stuff, but in this case today, we're going to show you like certain things that are facts about that video. But again, the story hasn't been told yet. So this is really a speculative type of live, really, going over some red flags and what perhaps is not red flags. So anyways, at this moment here, I'm going to make this screen bigger. We're on Google Earth here, and I did a video again for this the other day. Ticks me off, Alexa. I had a nice video for Mr. Long Island guy there, and the video still sits as yellow.
Still sunny?
Yeah, the YouTube is slow as crap when it comes to checking. Sometimes they can do it overnight, and other times it could take him 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Well, you know,
honestly.
it's funny. I'm going to admit something really quickly. Like, it was 2 nights ago, so it was Saturday. I thought that I was onto this like breaking news that there was this footage of the traffic thing, and I sent it to Sonny. I was at a concert and I stopped in the middle of the concert and made a video and everything, put it out, and Sonny was like, "You haven't seen that?"
Oh,
I was like,
yeah, because
I was like, "Nope."
That's because I had it for about like 6 or 7 hours.
Yep.
You know, and
it had been out since early that afternoon, and I was like, "Oh, Sonny, have you seen this?" And she was like, "Yeah, you haven't."
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I didn't. My bad. I usually assume, Adam, that you've probably seen it already on TikTok or something, like usually TikTok or something. Anyways, I was just working away that day, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, sorry, buddy, I've had this for like 6 hours. I just haven't released my video yet." And anyways, nothing like spending.
And I was in the middle of that concert, and I was like, "Oh, I'm onto something. I've got to do this real quick."
Appreciated though, of course, you know that. Because I didn't know that you hadn't seen it, but then I was too involved in making my video that I wasn't even thinking about it really. And you, right. I know you were at a concert and you were making videos already, but anyway, so CARLEE worked here at the Woodhouse Spa right here, just off of the I-459. Okay, she crosses over. She gets food from the Tzatziki Mediterranean Colonnade place there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At some point at 9:19, she calls her mom at some point here. I don't know who else she called, if there was somebody else along the way. Anyway, so she travels down here to mile marker 11.4. This is where her car's found. I'll take you down in a second. 9:34, she makes a call to 911 about this toddler. 9:36 p.m. CARLEE calls her sister-in-law or whoever it was. I remember watching this husband and wife say that it was their son's girlfriend, something like that. There's whatever. Can't remember now. Anyways, I've heard too much stuff lately. But so anyway, so there's 0.20 miles between each marker. So obviously, 0.2 times 5 is a mile. So it was deceiving in the footage because here, let me just take this off just because it will interfere when I take you down there. So we'll go to mile marker. Get back there. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go for a ride. All right, then. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Okay. So the McDonald's sign is just this one here. Okay. I'll just take you down here quickly. Kind of like what I showed, I think, in the last video for whoever watched it. If you didn't, then oh well. Okay, so is this it? Is the McDonald's one? Yeah, so this is a McDonald's one. In the video that's given by WBRC that put out the footage, I mean, when you look at it from their camera angle, it looks like these signs are a lot closer, but it's not. It's just the way that it's projected from the camera. So this is mile marker 11.6 here. And obviously mile marker 11.4 is just up here where the police were searching. And you can see that in the police searching photos. So this is where she pulled over here. Okay, so this is just to give you a grasp of what the terrain looks like. So go ahead, Adam.
Can you see the dirt paths from there? Because I haven't actually looked at. I pulled it up on my phone, but I didn't. Someone sent me that picture. I sent it to you of those dirt paths. But I was wondering if the video if you're showing us, because they said there's a dirt path that leads off in both directions, off the side of the interstate there, into that neighborhood where there's a line of houses.
Okay, well, I mean, the line of houses are here.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, in the picture that someone sent me, they had drawn on it. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to draw my attention to where the dirt paths were, but that distracts me sometimes when people draw lines on stuff.
Okay, let's go. Okay, I see what you're saying here. Let's just go to that, I guess. Okay, so they're basically, what are they showing there?
I'm not sure. I mean, I see a dirt outline, but then they drew on it. So I'm like, well, why are you trying to distract me?
No, not that one.
Deb said she sent us a couple of pictures. I'll take a look real quick.
Yeah. Okay, so this is marker. So, come on, Hippo. Let's go. Move it. Let's see. Looks like this is right here. Oh, it looks like this is like flipped around or something. Like this. Yeah. So that's pretty much right here that they're trying to show that.
Right.
Yeah, right here. I mean, you can see the house. You can see the house with the backyard that does this.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it over here as well. Okay, but mind you, that's at like mile marker 11.6.
Right. But I can see that little dirt path. I can see the start of the dirt path. See where the circle is there in that picture? Look directly below the circle. You can see that little dirt path that curves towards the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're right.
Oh, I can't see it. Look. Oh, it almost looks direct. It almost looks like more of a direct line there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You can see it right here. Although this is where she disappeared from was here. Like this is where the car was up here.
So it was too far down. Okay.
This is a marker 11.6. Yeah. Okay. That's too far down. What you're looking at on the picture is right here. Now, of course, it's dark.
Okay. Well, yeah, because they put the sign in it in the circle. See the exit sign?
Like this here is this here. Okay, one second. People are
okay. No, no, you're right. Like that, I didn't independently look into it, so someone has sent it to me.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I'll look at that later, Alexa. Thank you. Alexa sending me pictures from the Liska Gilgo. But anyway, okay. So okay. I need to turn off my notifications.
Turn off your notifications.
Yeah. Sorry, Alexa. I'm muting the notifications on you right now. Love you. Okay, it's just that because it comes right through. Actually, let me take a look at you. You need to get muted too. It looks like Adam.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to message you again.
There. No, you guys are muted now. It's just because it just comes right through for everybody else to hear.
You'll forget to unmute me though.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, it usually just wears off by the next time I do it. But okay. So you know what? I want to go back to, hold on a second. I want to go back to the video. Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take away from it. That just struck my mind.
Which? No, that's fine. It's absolutely fine.
We haven't done a live since I really started like deep diving this case. So sorry if I'm overexcited about it.
Yeah. No.
Absorbed a lot of my weekend.
But I do want to kind of talk about this video. Okay, so let's think of something first. Okay, as we discuss it. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Alexa, but I was just letting you send me them when you were ready to. I just wasn't bugging you on that one, but thank you. Okay, So first things first. Supposedly, okay, according to what the story is that she sees a toddler on the side of the road that's in like white nappy and like a white shirt.
Right. It was like apparently a 4-year-old male.
Yeah. Okay. So my first issue, myself thinking about it, okay, we're doing the red flags right now, guys, and then we can go revert to the other side. Right now, we're talking about red flags. So one red flag for me would have been the fact, and I think most people are thinking this stuff too. Like it's not like it's rocket science here. If a child is on the side of the road, why was there no other phone calls to 911? There was no other phone calls that were made by anybody else. And not only that, but look at the surrounding houses. Like there's nothing there. So only if you believe it was a lure that somehow this child now, my personal thing was, and I'm just going to hit play as she's coming along. So if you're driving and you see this child that's there, okay, if I saw a child, like freaking pull over as fast as you can. Okay. Do 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 do. Oh, let me look at my timer. That's quite the long wait
Right.
for someone to pull over for a child that is seen. And not only that, she would be well past this child. Okay. You can look at the headlights. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
I said exactly, Charles. How could they be sure that if it was a lure, how could they be sure she'd pull over and no one else? They couldn't. You know, if someone was using a child, which it's happened in the past, if someone's using a child to lure someone, lure someone into pulling over, they can't. That is a situation they cannot predict the outcome in. So they don't know if a 25-year-old female is going to pull over, or if a 60-year-old male is going to pull over, or a 70-year-old truck driver, or 5 vehicles. You know, and in all of those situations, they're then in a situation they have lost control over. And for most criminals, that's not a situation they like to be in. They like to have a guaranteed outcome, typically in their mind, at least, of the crime they're about to commit. And putting a toddler on the side of the road on an interstate that's this highly trafficked, there's a lot of unpredictables in that situation.
That's like a huge red flag already.
Right. And can I say the other red flag I saw really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Like, you know, and I don't know, you know, but in my mind, if you see a toddler along the interstate, I'm assuming you're traveling at a rate of 65 miles an hour or faster.
Yes.
If by the time you're able to spot a 4-year-old, a toddler, think of how often you've been driving and you see a deer on the side of the road. You know, you're pretty close to it by the time you see it. And so, I mean, if she is driving on this interstate, she sees a toddler, she calls 911. The amount of time she's on the phone with 911 also then allows her to hang up with 911, complete her entire call with 911, then call her sister-in-law or brother's girlfriend, whatever it is, have a full conversation repeating those facts to the sister-in-law as she gets out of the vehicle. Like, the timing of it all is very condensed. And I don't know how you presumably complete all of those things in such a very short amount of time. And maybe that's just because I don't understand it, but in my mind, it doesn't make sense.
No, the thing is, if it typically doesn't make sense, is because it doesn't, right? There are so many red flags personally to me that I'm having a hard time believing the whole thing myself, because when a child is on the side of the road, first of all, Where's the other phone calls to 911? Right? Other people would have witnesses, but the vehicles just keep multiplying by her. Multiplying by. No one even stops. They just keep going, keep going.
Right.
There's no vehicle there. Who called in the vehicle? Who?
Right.
Was
And
it
police
part
made
of
a point to say that. Police made a point
Yeah.
to say no one else made a call about a toddler on the on the side of the road.
Correct. They're not looking for anybody. Okay. They would be searching for somebody. Trust me. If they were looking for an abductor, they would have been putting out this sketch of something to basically say, look, we're looking for this perpetrator. We've seen them put out freaking, pencil guys with whatever. Remember that photo? But anyways, it would never take someone that long to pull off and do. Let's just keep, driving along. Hope do. Now, the child would have been way back there then. At no point through other people's lights, because again, come on now. People are passing left, right, and center this whole entire time that she's pulling over, right? Nobody else is going, oh, child in the way. Child, no. Only this car spots it. And then, so it's taking her forever to get to that marker on there. And you wouldn't, if you saw a child, why are you going to get out on your driver's seat, go along to the passenger seat? You'd be running all the way down that side of the road right there for that child, that lure child. Come on now. It's 2 + 2 really on this one. But I just mean, right. I'm having a hard time here myself because we're going to look at both sides, but I personally will wait for the answers. But my speculation is that this is a bunch of farce. That this whole story is a bunch of farce. That's the way it's coming off. Like, there's just so many red flags to me. It's not even funny. When you sit there and you spend time looking at a video and okay, if you guys saw someone, okay, ask yourself this. If you guys saw a child on the side of the road that is about 3 or 4 years old, would it take you that long to stop, first of all? And don't you think in your head that it's funny that nobody else called 911, that nobody even pulled over witnessing the same thing? Would it seem odd to you as a person that the driver will get out on the driver's side, go around to the passenger side, and they don't literally, because now the child would be, because you're not going to see the child ahead of you. Like, oh, there's a child, so I'm going to slow down way back here because you can see it way up there. The child would have been passed, took her forever. You would have been running down that side of the road. But you got all these vehicles just going by. You think someone's going to sit there and pull off an abduction right here, right now? Like, seriously?
Right. And again, I want to preface, like, I'm speculating on certain things, but I'm not passing judgment because I don't actually. I'm indifferent as to whether this was I'm glad that she's safe and that she's home and that her family does not have to plan a funeral. I hope that and I hope that they all heal in whatever way they need to. But so I mean, like, if I'm if we're saying like, oh, this doesn't make sense or this doesn't make sense, I'm not placing blame on CARLEE personally. I mean, will there be answers that need to be answered? If that's the case, yeah. But we don't know the facts all entirely yet, so that's
we don't.
I think pointing out what common sense tells us, and police asked for the public's help in this, and that's what the public's done. They wanted attention brought to this. Her family asked for attention to be brought to this. I've messaged her mother personally and tried to do whatever I could to bring attention to this. And that's been my only goal. So I'm not passing judgment on anything.
Yeah. I kind of more am so a little bit here for sure. I'm not really one to mince words, and I really have a hard time hiding my true feelings. Yes, at the end of the day, CARLEE is safe and sound, regardless of the outcome. Yes, her family can now be relieved on this. At the end of the day, it's still, let me just put it this way. Whether it's the hoax or not, There's obviously, if it's true, which I highly doubt it myself, but if it is true, again, prayers that she's alive. If it's a hoax, again, she will reap the consequences of that if it is deemed that it's a hoax. Now, again, what we're going over is the red flags. I do have a hard time because there's just so many red flags here. And I haven't watched too much on it today. I watched a little bit of ICML on it, and I seen a piece of News Nation as well, where lawyers are pretty much calling her out, saying this doesn't make sense. But I think that that's kind of a given here, because already in the whole thing of this video, you got a high volumed highway. My thing is this, okay? Now we're looking from the red flag side of it right now, okay? So just hear me out on this. If this was a hoax, if this was a planned event or a hoax or whatever you want to call it, mental issues, whatever you want to call it, people forget that there's cell phone data, of course, and that that there's cameras on I-59. Probably doesn't even come to the equation, as they're probably thinking about doing something. I bet you any money that CARLEE didn't expect, if this is a hoax, that she did not expect to see this footage of camera footage on the I-59. Boom, there's the vehicle right there. Oh, look at that. No gray vehicle stopped. And you can dissect it because this is an actual factual video from Highway 459, I-459 on there. Now, okay, I'm not going to lie. If I'm going with the hoax side, if this turns out, the wig is what kind of really set off, besides the phone and then her Apple Watch. The wig thing actually is what kind of made me go, and the wig, huh? That's where I really felt it was perhaps planned.
I have to say, I mean, and this is just from me doing hair and knowing a lot of, enough women that, I've had enough conversations with people that, I mean, there are things that were immediately about this case probably set off some red flags for me, especially once the press conference came the next day. And like I said, I'm not passing judgment. I mean, but when I heard the wig thing, I was like, no. I was like, can't be. It couldn't have. She couldn't have done it on. She couldn't have staged it, because, I mean, I'm not trying to, but most Black women are not going to leave their hair behind unless something has caused them to have to. I mean, that's a bold thing, right? And I'm not saying that in any way to insult people. Like, I
get it.
It's something that, a lot of people, like feel as a part of their identity. It's like me and my hats, or, some people with anything, and so to the fact that her hair was left at the scene, to me was like, oh, well, no one's going to do that on purpose. But maybe they did. I don't know.
Right. Well, so I see your side of it. Absolutely. And this is the whole point, right? Because Adam has his thoughts on it. Being a hairdresser, I disagree with what Adam's personally saying there, because if you're trying to show something, you're trying to show that something happened to you. Oh, frick, wig's coming off. Maybe she has another wig going on in her car. Who knows? Wig's coming off. Apple phone is there. The phone is there. Everything, like the one show that's tracking her, that anything to track her is no longer there, right? There's just, to me, this is just ultimate red flag city, from the fact that she walked home.
Okay, so I've heard both. I don't mean to change, but I've heard both. I've heard she got dropped off, and then I've heard she arrived on foot, which I'm like, well, the wording arrived on foot doesn't mean she couldn't have gotten dropped off, but that, maybe both are true. Did she get dropped off and then she walked into the home alone, or did she walk home?
I mean, I've seen it more said about walking home, but let's watch something. I've seen ICML play it on his, and so I went to the Facebook. Go ahead.
With this footage, so I've heard a lot of people say, I've heard some people say that they see a second vehicle. I personally do not see a second vehicle in this footage at all. Pulled over to the side.
Okay,
So,
those people need glasses if they see a second vehicle here. Seriously.
so if
There's
anyone that's watching, if anyone that watches thinks that they see a second vehicle in this, I'm just curious as to like where they see it and like at what point, because it's just not, I just don't see it.
no.
So I mean, I'm not, if even if it was planned or not, or if it was an abduction, I mean, I would think there would be a second vehicle somewhere, but I just don't see it in the footage that I'm watching, nor do I see a child. And nor does her behavior, nor does anything because I mean, she says on the phone call to her sister-in-law or brother's girlfriend that she approached, that she's heard approaching the child and asking if the child's okay. When I see her get out of the car in this footage, I see her walk around the back of the car to the passenger side of the vehicle. I don't see her approach or do anything other than walk to the passenger side of the vehicle.
And I'm so sorry, but if somebody's saying that there's a second vehicle, obviously to me you're off your freaking rocker. Sorry, but you are, because it's clear as day by all the headlights going down there and all the headlights coming behind her. There's no second vehicle anywhere in this footage besides your eyes obviously have issues and you can't watch a video properly because they're like, I don't know where people get that crap. Why do people do
it makes
that?
me curious. I'm just like, because I'm like, well, am I missing something? Or like, because I'm
No,
like,
you're not.
I think that people, if they think they see something, they think they see it. And this happens with pareidolia all the time. Like I've looked at the pictures under the bridge in Delphi to be like, what am I not seeing? Which then I'm like, oh no, y'all are just crazy. But
I was going to say, so I'm going to play this video from Facebook of this. I believe he's a lawyer. We're going to play it again, and we'll leave this alone for a second. And let's see, share screen. And let's see, is it that one? No. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one right here. So hold on. Oops, get out of there. Okay. I got to make it bigger. Is this the bigger one or is this the bigger one? Enter full screen. Okay, let me go back.
Confirm what I thought.
Okay.
Hi, this is Attorney Eric Gus with Gus Law Firm. We're going to discuss the CARLEE Russell case. Many of you have seen my post I made this morning, and it definitely was very interesting. But I'm going to break down how I got there, what my analysis of this situation was, and the evidence that I saw that got me to the conclusions that I made. I fully understand the emotions a lot of people have. When you have a young lady who's missing for days, her family didn't know where she was, her friends did not know where she was, her coworkers, everybody who loved her was frantic. People who did not know her, including me, were frantic. Thursday night, frantic. What do you mean some girl's missing? What you mean a Black girl is missing in Birmingham, Alabama, got snatched? It freaked me out. And I am very thankful that CARLEE is safe. I am thankful that she's alive, and all of us who wanted her to be found safe are very thankful for that. And this morning, I woke up and I looked at social media, and people were like wearing each other out. They were insulting each other back and forth. Y'all wanted her to, if you didn't make good grades, how can you add 2 + 2? All the insults. People put insults under my post. But think about me. I do this for a living. I'm a lawyer and a legal analyst for a living. And when you're on the national scale, people tag, trash, email, bash all the time when you say things that they don't like. So I'm fine with that. But the thing about me is I deal with facts. And we're going to get to the facts of this. And I'm going to tell you how I got to my conclusions that I simply did not believe the story. Now, this morning, of course, I was like, man, I need to sit this one out. I need to sit this one out because this is bad. But people look to me for guidance and facts. And that's what I'm here to do now. Let's start with the case. CARLEE went missing Thursday night. Everyone was in a panic, thinking that there was a trafficking thing going on. There were babies being used as bait on roads. People were frantic. I mean, I'm talking to my wife. Make sure you don't stop if somebody needs help. We're having those conversations. I'm calling family members. Make sure you don't stop if somebody needs help. And I still believe that now. You call for them, don't stop. But what this case did was it played into the fears of everyone. A young, attractive woman is missing in the heart of Birmingham, of Hoover, Alabama, in the heart of Jefferson County. That happened Thursday. And Friday afternoon, I finished my work, and then I started questioning the story. I started thinking about, not questioning it, but I was thinking about, man, what could have happened to that young lady? And I thought about what information had been released. And we're going to take that one by one. I'm going to tell you how I got to my conclusion. And I got to my conclusion Friday that this did not add up. I started questioning the story where it was stated that a baby was on I-459. A baby was on I-459, a toddler, and she stopped to help. And Saturday, everyone was in people's feeds. Y'all telling somebody not to stop, don't need to stop, not to stop. And I was like, that story doesn't make sense. I'm a former criminal defense lawyer and currently a personal injury lawyer who handles 95% of our injuries or wrecks. And we deal with accidents and reconstruction. And this is the fact about that. If you are driving 55 miles per hour, it will take you approximately 70 yards to stop. The speed limit on 459, I believe, is 70, which would take you about 100 yards. That is the length of Legion Field to stop. So if a person saw, and let's get to the facts of what was stated. You saw a toddler on the freeway at night going 55 miles per hour. I knew that was impossible. When a person is driving on a freeway, they have no idea what's on the shoulder. If you're driving 55 to 70 miles per hour, it would take you 70 yards past the person you saw. Then did you back up? Did you put in reverse and back up to go way 100, a whole football field back? I was like, I was talking privately to some people, and I was like, this don't make no sense. Because the facts are the facts. Once you take the emotion out of it and deal with the facts made no sense. Then Saturday, one of my colleagues sent me the video that they posted, and I was like, wait. So the 911 call said that she saw a toddler, and she was riding the shoulder with her blinkers on for what appeared to be about 60, 70 yards. How? Because all we can go off of the 911 call. How did those things didn't add up? I saw a toddler and I stopped to aid this toddler. Then she's on the phone. She's riding down the shoulder on 459 with her blinkers on. And this is the best part of the video. Like, people were looking at all the shadows and ATVs and all that. People came out the woods. That's where you missed the point. The cars near her put on their brights, and all of them slowed down. So, and that's what I saw in the video. I look for other cars, because if someone's kidnapping you, they got to take you by their way, because Hoover was there fast. Hoover was there fast. 4 minutes is a fast response time. They were actually, I think, 3.5 minutes or so. Hoover was there for a very fast response time. And the things didn't add up. And when you're dealing with a case, all you can deal with are the facts that are presented. And Friday, like it's a Friday afternoon, I was like, this doesn't make no sense. But this is the thing. I know people pay attention to what I write. And I was not going to write that I did not believe her at that time. I did a video. I need to find my video. I did a video of me Friday night talking about this case, but I said, I am not going to talk about it. This is me Friday night. Let's talk about it. Today is July 14th, Friday, July 14th, and yesterday, on the 13th, the young lady was reported missing at the gallery flyover. I did that for me. And I'm saying this just for my phone purposes. I would never do a Facebook Live about this, but this case seems so weird. I've shared it, and I hope that this is a hoax. But for someone to be driving 70 miles per hour on a freeway and see a baby at night, then stop, then somehow snatched and wig left behind, watch and phone left behind, it sounds so weird. I did that Friday night for my records but I did not put this out there because suppose I could be wrong. And I always, being a public figure, being someone who represents my community, I'm very, 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 very careful about the things that I do, things that I say, and things that I write. In this year, if you look back on my Facebook page, I have been not active at all on social media this year. I made a vow, January 1st, I ain't gonna be in no Facebook fights. I ain't got time for that. I'm doing what I do. All right. Now, let's get to the video. People put their brights on. Slow down. Nobody else called in about this baby. Nobody. No reports, because Hoover PD would have said by then there are multiple reports about a baby being found. And then today, you get to today about the press release. Hoover was very tactical. I mean, Hoover dropped that video and like, here y'all go. Y'all figure it out yourselves. And in the press release today, it confirmed what I thought. CARLEE's 911 call was the only call about a baby on the interstate, that she called and said it was a male on the interstate. How you know it's a male on the interstate if you drive 55 miles per hour on 459? How you know it's a boy? I walk with folks cheering. I don't know, boy or girl, to say, hey, baby, really, 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 really nice, good looking. You can't tell if a toddler is a boy or a girl. You don't know. And we're dealing with the facts, folks. And then they said the Apple Watch was in her purse. And I was like, wait. When they mentioned that the Apple Watch was left behind, I envisioned, oh my God, somebody taking me and my Apple Watch falls off. It was put in her purse. That's what you do when you don't want to track. And all this happened at night. At night, folks, on one of the busiest interstates in the state of Alabama. Like we saw in the release video of the interstate, that I'm sure the people forget about video being everywhere. And video always tells the story. It's one of the most amazing things in litigation that you get. People come in, they tell all kind of lies, all kind of stories, stuff their mama gonna believe. That wasn't me robbing that bank, mama. Then I hold a video. Ain't this you? Well, yeah, maybe it was. That's the way it works. And when people tell these stories, they always get very elaborate. And that's one thing I've noticed. In my 22 years of practicing law, people are extremely elaborate with their stuff. They don't just say something happened, they go into all kind of details. Because, for example, in this particular situation, there was a baby, used this bait, to snatch somebody, which is the fear of so many people with trafficking. Those things you read on the internet. Somebody used a short person to bait some woman to snatch her, and that's what people use, and it scares the hell out of people. And what angers me about this is when this really happens to someone, when it truly happens to someone, there's doubt in the minds of people who witness this. We already have a disproportionate unfairness when it comes to African American women and children the efforts to locate them are already short. We already have a fight to make sure that Amber Alerts are issued properly when it comes to Black and brown people. We already have a fight for resources to make sure that things are investigated properly in Black and brown people. And when someone say something like this, it just doesn't make any sense. And it makes you upset because it just didn't make sense, y'all. It was not true. Period. And like I said, I knew this Friday. And didn't say anything. And that video came out, like, ooh, I really, really knew this is not true. And press conference today, man, I don't know what's going to happen, but those resources that were expended, the time, and that angers people when they spend time on something that was not based in honesty. I am overjoyed and ecstatic that her family got her back. I am thankful that those people who love her, who did not know where she was for 3 days, got her back. But when people have questions, they have the right to have questions. And this is a case definitely worth questioning. Got some questions in is she in legal trouble if she lied? Perhaps. I would think that if there was a mental episode or something associated with this, they may not go after her. But like I said, I knew it was a lie from the jump. Hoover knowing Fridays why exactly. Hoover was like, here you go. Hear that video. Y'all over here talking about Hoover ain't doing nothing. Here's a video. And they just dropped it on us. They just dropped it on us. And it's the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. And those who've come on my post insulting me, and I just deal with facts. The one thing about people and me and the things I talk about on social media, whether it's social media, Facebook Live, CNN, MSNBC, or whatever, typically I'm right. I've only been wrong one time on a case, like making a statement like this, because I really, really, really think through the things that I write. Because if I'm not sure, I'm not going to write about it. It's fun. It's interesting when I have Facebook friends say, Gus must not be sure because he didn't write about it. You're probably right because I'm not sure. But when I vet it well, I know. Yeah, sure. I told my wife about this. I could not remember whose post it was because you said you posted that you got pulled over 10. You said they need to be looking for CARLEE. You said the police laughed so hard. I told Jamie about that. I said somebody got pulled over and they laughed hard. Yeah, they already knew. They already knew, and they already knew, y'all. And that's all. I'm not gonna keep going on and on, but that's all. We're gonna see what Hoover PD says later. And I hope this young lady is well. I'm thankful for her family and friends who love her, that she's back. But I also have the right to be very angry that what was said was not true. Y'all have a good night. Be careful. And watch out for midgets on the side of the road. Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh. Let's see what we got. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Any questions real quick? If you have any questions, I can be on for another. It's almost bedtime in my house. I mean, what about the midgets? The midgets on the side of the road. I mean, y'all had people over in Tallapoosa talk about it's gonna be midgets. They're midgets on the side of the road trying to lure people on Tallapoosa. That saw a stroller over on Pratt Highway. Like, bro, what? Yes. Do you think Hoover make another statement? Absolutely. Because Hoover will, they already do not have a great reputation in our community, so they've got to make sure they do this right. Hey, Desmond, that's a very good question. Well, let's say this about that. He said, why is no state alert? Because they didn't believe it. They may have put out an APB or a radio call about this to agencies to look for her, and she was getting a lot of media coverage. So I don't think there was necessarily a huge need for it, but because when things happen that fast, things happen really fast. But I'm sure by the next day they were like, even like I said, the next day I was like, this sounds like some bull. This makes no sense. And I'm about to log off. I need to put these girls in bed. I mean, they were saying that there were midgets. People were talking about they saw these small people on the side of the road, like trying to lure people. And this post got like a gazillion shares and stuff. And you know, it was very good point. This is a very high profile case, and they've caught hell from us in the past when they dropped the ball on things. I saw a strolling day in the line from coming to church. Well, was a baby in it, Melinda? Baby on the side of the road so you can get snatched. Right, very good point. My anxiety was so high. Right, a lot of people's anxiety was very high in this, and that's what made me very upset. I was like telling my wife, like, hey, you know, you see something, you just call the police from your phone on the Bluetooth and tell them where it is and mile marker and go on the Waze app and mark it or something. I don't know, you know. Yeah, and that's all. But I'm not gonna keep going on. I wanted to explain my post this morning and how I got there, and that's what I wanted to do. But it never made sense. Good night. Be careful. Thank you for the love. Thank you for supporting my law firm. This is what we do. Accidents, wrongful death. That's what we do. And I appreciate all of you supporting me. I appreciate the love you give me. I appreciate you all listening to me and trusting me to explain things like this to you, in addition to you handling your cases when someone gets hurt in your family, trusting what I say. And that's why.
Sorry about that for 1 second. Okay, yeah, you preach it, Eric, because that's just, you know what, I only listened to probably the first 2 minutes of that. And again, I don't think it takes anyone very long to literally understand that what he's saying. And there's other lawyers. I mean, I caught News Nation for a few minutes on, again, this was on ICMELS, because ICMELS covering this too. And the reason why personally I'm covering it and going into this one is because honestly, is because I'm pissed. It's because I'm pissed that I feel like this is a total hoax. And it's kind of one of those things. It's like, if it turns out to be true, which I believe it is, I believe that this isn't true, but we'll see. I'm pissed. I'm pissed that we all put in all this time and effort if it comes to fruition because nothing makes sense. And exactly what he says is exactly what I felt. And just like I even said about the cameras, I didn't even hear him say that. It's just all the different things that were going through my mind. And so, yeah, I think that this is going to turn out to be a nothing burger of what happened myself. And I have no problem saying that, but that's my opinion. But I'm still going to, of course, like, there's just so much there to say that it's leaning towards the one way. You would hope that nobody would do this. But yeah, so what potentially, or what does kind of potentially piss me off is to know if somebody went to this extreme, and kind of like what happened with the C word, the flu word, the way people were reacting, some people were just absolutely ridiculous, because of the pandemonium that was caused. But in this case, you're putting the fear into people if this is a hoax. And then it's going to be like the person that cried wolf. When it truly does happen to somebody, people are going to, if they keep hearing these stories, if this is true, because we don't know yet for sure. Okay. I believe that, whatchamacallit, that the PD, Hoover PD, will put out one. And, oops, 1 second. What were your thoughts on what he said, Adam?
Everything he said is a thought I had, of course. And like I said, at the end of the day, to me, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I'm like, the most important thing is that she's home. Why she went missing is important. But I think that, that's something that, will come to fruition, either way. If she was abducted and there's someone out there, I hope that they're caught. If she made this up, to me, the most important thing in that instance is that it breaks my heart that something could happen in someone's life that gets them to the point where they feel like something like this, that like making this decision is the way to go. Because, I can't imagine living in that existence where you've decided this is what I'm going to do. So, either way, I know that her and this family are going to need healing. Now, if you want to talk about like the consequences as far as, responsibility, if you make something like this up, that's a fair conversation to have. Because lots of money was spent looking for this woman. Lots of time, lots of resources were put into searching for this woman. And if it was all because she was having a mental health issue or a personal issue that she didn't have a solution to, I
am getting tired of that.
Should she then have to pay the money back? Should she be held responsible for that? That's a fair conversation. But I just don't know if we're there yet.
Right. But you know what, though, by the same token, I'm really sick and tired of mental health issues being used for everything by the same token as well.
Of course, your decisions are still your decisions, and you have to have the responsibility for those decisions.
But it's like, for me, like I said, everyone has issues. Everybody. There's not one person here that doesn't have some sort of issues. But now it's gotten to the point where in this society, everyone's claiming mental health issues for everything. Right. And it's turning into an absolute joke that way. Now, regardless of what she was going through, again, at the end of the day, all you have to do, guys, is just claim mental health issues. There you go. You're off. Mental health issues.
Like if I'm having a mental health issue and I decide to drink too much and then I get into a vehicle and I drive that vehicle and I hit another vehicle and kill a family, my mental health issue is not going to be is not going to alleviate me of the problem that I have then, of the fact that I'm going to be, you know, charged with vehicular homicide. So, I mean, I still think that we should be held responsible for our decisions. But I mean, I do think most of us probably, you know, probably a lot of us do probably are emotionally driven, or some of us are emotionally driven. You know, if she was having a mental health issue, I don't think it alleviates her of the responsibility of the decision at all. And I do agree with you. People use it too much
No.
as a crutch,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it it doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah. Anna, I'm sorry, I disagree. First of all, I don't watch Sleuth Intuition. And secondly, the thing is, bottom line is, we don't know the full story yet.
Right.
At all. We all have our opinions.
Yeah.
So if you think that she's like, you know, give her the benefit of the doubt, she is having the benefit of the doubt. But this is pretty much all of social media now questioning it. Absolutely. Is there a ton of red flags? Absolutely. I was not born yesterday. I did not fall off of a turnip truck. So my personal opinion is that everything I'm seeing is showing to be absolute red flags. But of course, it's not official because there's nothing official out there. Now, you know, it gets my goat up because I'm really tired of people using mental health issues for everything. We all go through mental health issues of something in our lives, whether it's anxiety, stress, what we do. But I'm so tired of it getting overplayed. Like, well, maybe she had this going on. Maybe she had that. Well, let's wait and see what the answers are for the whole mental health issues as well. You know, this could have been.
I'm not judging a mental health issue. I'm saying if you've had a mental health issue, I'm not going to judge you on it, but that doesn't alleviate you of your responsibility to pay the consequence of and be accountable for your actions. You know, like, just like, you know, and I'm not equating her to Richard Allen by any means, but, like, you know, people say this with Richard Allen and they're like, but his mental health is not going to alleviate him of being charged with a double homicide. You know, it might delay it until he's held until he's deemed competent to stand trial, but you still have to be accountable for your actions, mental health issue or not.
Absolutely. Do you know? I'm
grateful that I've never had a mental health issue that has made me decide I want to park my car on the side of the road and run away from my life, if that's what happened.
It's about accountability to me in life.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I do have a question though, Sunny.
Yeah, sure.
If you think this was a hoax, do you think she did it alone? Or do you think that she had assistance from someone? Because, I mean, she pulled other people into the orbit of this, if that's what happened. You know, I mean, like, her sister-in-law was on the phone with her, presumably, when this disappearance took place. The boyfriend is still saying that she was abducted, and you know, went through 48 hours of hell, basically. So, I mean, was she? And someone had asked earlier about the Red Roof Inn. So, was there another male of it involved? Did she go to the Red Roof Inn? Was she there that whole time?
Red Roof. Let me just.
You know, what are your thoughts on that? Did she do it on her own?
Correct. I mean, that totally has entered my mind. That one I'm at a catch 52 on, because I feel like it wasn't an alone thing. My gut's kind of saying that perhaps that there is somebody else involved in this too. If this is a hoax, that I do feel like that perhaps I'm 50-50 kind of, because I do feel like there's two things going on there. First of all, who made the phone call to say that there was another vehicle, you know, that saw this white complexion male?
The police said it was a single witness. I read in a news report that it was a truck driver. But the police, they made a specific point to say a single witness reported seeing it. And then they said they don't see any other vehicle pull over or stop at any time during the surveillance footage. And of course, they've seen more surveillance footage than we have. We have a 4-minute window,
Right.
So, I mean, they've seen more than we have.
Absolutely. Okay.
Someone asked me about the Red Roof Inn. I want to answer really quickly. So what happened with the Red Roof Inn, from my understanding, is that the family, that her parents received a phone call from CARLEE stating she was at the Red Roof Inn. They called the Red Roof Inn, and she was not registered as a guest. But they went to the Red Roof Inn, and they didn't find her. But there are 2 Red Roof Inns in
Correct.
Hoover, and they went to one, and she wasn't there. She wasn't registered, I don't think, under her name at either location. But my understanding from what I was told was that she was most likely at the other Red Roof Inn location, and that once the family got back home, that's when she showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole Red Roof Inn thing, I think, got confused because some people said the family was at the Red Roof Inn, and they weren't. They went to the Red Roof Inn.
It said that there was 6 vehicles. Now you have to remember, people are listening to these scanners, okay? And the people that are truly looking for her, thinking, that they're listening to these scanners. You don't think that those people, like the same people that do things on the internet, are the same people that are driving over there, because on the scanner they're hearing about this phone call from CARLEE about the Red Roof Inn, and people are just going to start showing up there. Of course they are. It's a guarantee, to be honest with you, because there's people that are all looking for her, then they're listening to the scanners. Wouldn't you drive over to the Red Roof Inn yourself if you were looking for her?
And Charles, you need an ID to get a hotel room, which is one of the reasons why I was asking, if she had help. I mean, either someone took her there, possibly because of the abduction, or if she had planned this, whose name then was that room booked in? Because in my mind, of course, I'm speculating, but would go towards it being a male that is not her boyfriend. And again, I'm not going to go down that road, but that's what I would think. Someone had to have booked that room, and if her name wasn't registered, someone's name had to be on the room.
You know what? Let me read this Hoover press release that they did today, okay? And then I'm going to ask you guys, like what Deb was asking too as well, what the motive will be. But we'll come back to that question about why someone would do. Go ahead.
Was this from today or yesterday?
Today. This is today's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I was telling you about earlier.
Okay.
Hoover, yeah. Okay. Was today's, right? Adam, you got me second guessing myself.
I think so.
Hold on. Let me look at the date. I got the date right here. It's from. Hold on. Let me hit refresh.
I mean,
it's from today.
But they're similar, so I mean, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Update. Is this from yesterday? Okay. Okay, yeah. This is the one from yesterday. Yeah. This was their latest one. At 12:46. So, let's go. Okay, so it says the Hoover Police Department is releasing additional information on the safe return of CARLEE Russell since the time of the 911 call at 9:34 p.m. on July 13th. The Hoover Police Department have expended every available resource in locating CARLEE, and we celebrate with the Russell family on her safe return home at approximately 10:44 p.m. on July 15th. The following information are facts we have been able to determine at this point in the investigation. We are still gathering and evaluating evidence in this case. It's just a nice little package there of words. CARLEE left work from a business at the Summit, Birmingham at 8:20. She ordered food from the nearby business at the Colonnade and traveled there. We have worked to retrace all of her actions from the time she left the Colonnade until she called 911 and are well on our way of completing that task. At this point in the investigation, we have not been able to locate anyone with CARLEE from the time she left the Colonnade until the 911 call was made. CARLEE communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her that while on the path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. The conversation with 911 operator ended and CARLEE called a relative. That was a very fast phone call, wasn't it? And it does seem odd because normally when you call 911, I'll just, if somebody's really scared, whatever, I would just stay on the phone with you, stay on the phone with me. So it was almost like, that's a very quick phone call.
Right. And typically the first thing 911 tells you, don't hang up. Respond. Right? People are, especially, they were there they were less than 5 minutes away. And the law enforcement has heard the 911 tape. The public is not. So that'll probably hold a lot more answers than just us speculating.
Right. We've only heard the scam.
Sure, if the 911 operator, I would imagine it would be a normal thing for them to say, stay on the line. Especially, are you telling me that she made the phone call as she was driving 65 miles an hour or slowed down or whatever? And would she have told the 911 officer or operator that she was pulling over and they just let her hang up? I doubt so. I doubt that highly. And then she had time to call the sister-in-law.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit strange for sure. Absolutely. Another red flag to me, but she went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. after telling both the 911 operator and the relative she had seen a male toddler in a diaper on the side of I-459 and was stopping to check on him. Traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that the footage is still being analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call to accurately determine the time frame. CARLEE's 911 call remains the only timely report of a child on the interstate. Hello, red flag. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly behind, which, Adam, you had on your footage. Yeah, I don't even know where you got that footage from because everyone I watched always stopped when the blue light showed up, but yours had the extended a little bit there.
I don't know.
Yeah, yours did. They located CARLEE's wig, cell phone, and purse on the roadway near the vehicle, and CARLEE's Apple Watch was in her purse. Investigators with the Crimes Against Persons Unit were notified, and the investigation immediately began in earnest, with numerous leads being followed. Many local, state, and federal agencies immediately offered assistance and provided personal response and other resources into the investigation. No stone was left unturned, and the investigation continued through the weekend. And then it goes on to say, at 10:44 on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center received a call from CARLEE's residence that she had returned home on foot. Hoover Police and Fire responded to the residence where CARLEE was located. She was immediately transported by the Hoover Fire Department to the UAB hospital to be evaluated and was treated and released. Detectives, so that's pretty fast. Get treated and then released.
Right.
Considering she was, whatever her boyfriend said, for 48 hours fighting for her life. But whatever. Detectives responded to the residence and to the UAB to take an initial statement from CARLEE. The details of that statement are part of the ongoing investigation, which is expected to continue over the next few days. At no point do they say here that they're looking for anybody at all or give us anything, but whatever. During the initial portion of the investigation, detectives were able to retrace nearly all CARLEE's steps until the point she went missing, and are confident this will continue to be the case. The Hoover Police Department continues to be extremely grateful for the outpouring support. We rejoice with the Russell family, and this is the part that gets me, right? We will rejoice with the Russell family as they continue to rest and recover from this situation. Right. And ask for their wishes to be respected regarding their privacy. This release contains all the information the Hoover Police is able to release at this time. They
probably have a lot of recovering to do. Whether it's a hoax or not.
Absolutely.
And hypothetically, if this was a decision that CARLEE made, I guarantee you, the decision that made her that caused her to make this decision is way worse today than it was the day she made the decision, because of how expounded, how big this got. And if it's a hoax, I would think it would be a natural response to, once you start to see how big your stories get. Because I don't think anyone would expect that if they planned their own disappearance, that they're going to be on the national news within 24 hours. And so to me, it would make sense that if you had done that, you might realize very quickly that this has gotten too big, and it might make it even scarier for you. Because then what do? It might have been a reactionary moment that she'd made this decision, and and then all of a sudden she's on CNN.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now just to quickly show you. So this tweet went out from CARLEE's Twitter at 9:19. So see how it says 7:19? It's showing 7:19 because that would be my time. Alabama is a 2-hour difference. Exactly. Alabama is a 2-hour difference from me. So this is truly 9:19 Alabama time. Now that's the same time that they gave for her calling her sister, her mom, is at 9:19. So let's see here. I want to see what other time this one was at. This one was.
There were details in that I find interesting. Like her family made a point to say that that she'd gotten the wrong food in her order, and that she was going to and that she called her mom to tell her she had this entree that she was going to give to her, because then her mom told the reporters that CARLEE loved food, and that that it meant a lot because that she called her and said, do you want my food, because they got my order wrong. It's those little details though that I'm like, well, that sounds like a normal thing you'd probably do, right? They get your order wrong, you call your mom and be like, hey, do you want this? Because she lived with her parents.
Yeah.
My mind, I have speculated on this case every way under the sun. So like I said.
Well, I don't think that there was an overabundance. Okay. Meaning, as per the video, I don't really think that there was an overabundance logically to think about. Once you actually oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, once I saw the surveillance footage, of course, but then again, you never see, like if CARLEE did, do this on her own, you never see her walk away from the scene.
No.
So I still was left with answers after I saw the footage. Especially once I saw the residential area on the other side of that tree line, because I'm like, well, any car could have been parked over there. We don't see all of that area in the footage.
The what?
On the right-hand side of the road, if you go through those trees, there's that residential area. And, we don't see that.
Somebody waiting there.
There could have been a parked car waiting for her over there somewhere.
Yeah. I think that I hope that in a couple of days, we're going to hear some answers to the actual truth of this. But at the end of the day, to me, like, I'm sorry. On this one right here, for me personally, I'm sitting at about 90% red flags everywhere, 10%. But so let's ask a couple questions here, Adam. Okay,
Can I ask a question really quick?
Okay.
Sorry. Do you think? Oh, great. No. Do you think that? Well, I guess it's more of a statement.
Thank you, Gracie.
I will say I do think that whatever's happening, and if there's someone out there that took CARLEE, they need to be caught. If CARLEE faked this for whatever reason, I hope she gets the help that she gets. I do think that the Hoover police need to give the public an update, only because if there's a threat to public safety, I feel like the police owe the public in that area to know whether or not they should be worried about public safety. And,
Absolutely.
without giving any answer, and I understand that CARLEE has a right to privacy and the family has a right to privacy, but the police, I think, need to give an explanation to the public as far as whether or not they should be concerned with their safety.
Yeah.
The same with Delphi. Remember when that happened? When he came out, it was like, no, we don't know who it is, but they were like, but there's no worry for public safety.
I know. I think that people are adult enough, they said in Delphi. I think that people are, adult enough to know if they should, what they should do and stuff like that. I wanted to go in that freaking thing and slap them all because, that's just like, seriously, we don't know who it is that, took Abby and Libby's lives, but no need for concern, people. Look, it's okay. No need for, like, how dare you do that to a community? Of course, people should be on the alert. If you don't know and haven't arrested nobody, or you don't have, anything, of course you make sure that the community is very much aware and on alert. That just goes without saying. But and in this case too, it's the same thing. If there is someone out there that abducted CARLEE, right? Okay, this should be all over the news that they're looking for this individual that CARLEE's gave a description of. None of this. I just made it home. I can't talk, can't do whatever, is what it's coming across like. That's how it's being portrayed. Like, she just needs to heal first before she can talk about this abductor or what happened. But, the thing is, police aren't stupid. We know that. They'll get to the bottom of this. And I hope, and I feel like we will get answers for this.
And I know enough police officers to know that, I'm not saying the police need to cause a panic in every situation where, I understand if they don't have answers, they can't always give answers. But, I don't think that, they need to come out tomorrow or today and be like, CARLEE faked this and did this and this because of this and this. But if there's a threat to the public safety, I feel like as police, they owe a responsibility to the public to let them know whether or not they need to be concerned with their safety. For their safety.
Okay, and I'm going to disagree a bit there because they do owe the community answers because there's so much. Like, this is how I see them kind of saying it myself.
Well, I meant immediately. That's what I just meant that.
Well,
in the immediate thing.
I think in the next couple of days we're probably going to hear something like this. Like that.
If there's a threat to public health, I think they should have done it today. I think they should have made an update today. I think they should have said, you need to be worried or you don't.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But I think that they're basically gonna, insert that little part there where they say we have, not came across anything that would make us believe that, about the abduction. I think that they're gonna touch on that for sure about letting us know that there's not, because to me, there's not. I'm sorry. That's my personal opinion. I'm calling horse pucky on this one myself. Granted, right? I mean, I don't know what the full answers are, but the question I did want to pose, like Deb had asked earlier, is what would be CARLEE's reason? So we talked about red flags. So let's talk about the things that would make sense about why this would be an abduction, perhaps, of using a child perhaps to be alert. What would you guys think? One, why would CARLEE stage a hoax? Like, what would be her motive for that? And then the other one would be, what reasons would you give for that this sounds more truthful? What reasons would you think would back up that? What would you think, Adam, for the hoax? If you had to kind of, think about it, what would you think might be the reason that she would do this? And don't just say mental health, because there's obviously something that would include, if she was like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, for anyone to do this isn't using their right mindset at that moment.
I feel like this, if this was a hoax, I feel like it wasn't a super elaborately planned out hoax. I feel like it was more of a reactionary thing. I don't think it's unreasonable to think there might have been another male involved. I know I've seen someone say, what if she was trying to get out of a negative situation? I'm not going to speculate on abuse or things like that at all, you know, and if that's the case, yeah, I mean, people have made elaborate ruses to get out of a situation like that. I don't think anyone makes this decision unless they're in a situation that they're trying to escape for a reason, whether it's legitimate or not. But, you know, so if there's another guy involved, that would make sense to me. I mean, there are a million reasons people want to escape their life. I mean, haven't we all at least once or twice in our life been like, I want to run away?
Okay, but think about this. Okay, I would like to know if the food was taken or left in the vehicle.
Right. Was that extra meal left in the vehicle that she called her mom and told she was bringing her?
Yeah.
You know, there was a part in the press conference on, I guess that was Friday. That raised my attention. I sent it to you on Messenger, Sonny. I clipped it, like it's like 8-second clip from the press conference. And other than the story's elaborateness, and it almost in a way like came across as a white van. Like when I was a kid, it was always like, oh, you never go up to a white van, because there was always like these folklores of people kidnapping people in a white van. But I mean, we've all heard like these like stories of someone using a toddler as a ruse on the side of the road. So it seemed so elaborate to me that I thought to myself, if this is true, it's horrible because it's so insane. But it's such an outlandish story if it's not true, that it like coincides so closely with so many folklores. But like when I heard this in the press conference on Friday,
let me play that quickly.
And take a look at how like the police officer responds to the question.
Okay. All right.
Does the missing woman have any mental illness history or any physical conditions that people should be? Does the missing woman have any mental illness history or any physical conditions that people should be aware about? I can't speak to that right now. Does the missing woman have any mental illness history or any physical conditions that people should be aware about? I can't speak to that right now.
Oh, they're asking if there's any mental illness.
Yeah.
That you face.
And I immediately noticed that, you know, he doesn't say, not that we know of, not that, you know, his response was so direct, and it, you know, he already knew the answer to what he was going to say before he said it.
Yeah.
And he says, not that I can speak to at this time.
Yeah.
And so what that told me was that, you know, this was an avenue at least that police were looking into at that point. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but, you know, I'm definitely, I knew immediately when I saw that police suspected that could be a possibility because of the way he responded.
Sorry, can you say that last part you said, Adam? I was looking at Michelle's.
As soon as I saw that on Friday, I knew immediately that was an avenue that police were at least looking at because of the way he responded to that question.
Right. Yeah. And as for, like I said, I had this up already, but let's go back to it. CARLEE Russell. No, that's it now there. Oh, here, let's watch this update. Where was it? Okay, hold on.
She's a beautiful girl.
They're going to put in some sort of stupid, one sec. They're going to put in some sort of stupid.
I'm so thankful that CARLEE is home safe. So thankful.
25-year-old CARLEE Russell back at home tonight. She showed up at her home late Saturday night. The question now, though, what happened? Thanks for choosing WBTM 13 News. I'm Guy Rawlings.
And I'm Brittany Decker. People all over the world have been following this story so closely. Now we're all waiting to find out what happened to CARLEE Russell and how did she end up back at her home?
We're bringing you the latest information tonight as part of our team coverage. WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough and Ian Wright's live tonight.
We begin with Ian. Police are still quiet on this entire situation, Ian.
Yeah, so Brittany and Guy, we did just get an update from police about an hour ago. It doesn't give us a lot of new information about what happened, but it does give us an idea of where they're focusing that investigation now that CARLEE is back home and safe with her family. So let me go ahead and run you through exactly what they said. Again, this was released just after 5 o'clock tonight. It said, quote, detectives are combing through numerous pieces of evidence collected from the time she went missing until her return home and beyond. Each piece of information is helping investigators reconstruct CARLEE's movements during the time she was missing. They went on to say this is a tedious process, but it's important to make sure everything is methodically evaluated so we have the clearest possible picture of what took place from the time CARLEE called 911 until she returned home on Saturday night. So keep in mind, that was about a 48-hour period, Thursday night until Saturday evening. While we don't know exactly what happened during that time frame, we do have an idea of what happened in the moments leading up to her disappearance. So let me run you through that. And that's what we know from police. Again, that was Thursday night. CARLEE went missing after leaving work. She ordered food from a restaurant in Hoover. She picked up the food. Police say it appears she was alone at the time and was not being followed. We also know at about 9:30 that night, she called some friends or family members. And then at 9:34, called 911 reporting a child on the side of I-459 right near the Colonnade. Police say she is the only such call to come in about that child. CARLEE stopped on the side of the interstate. Within 5 minutes, police were on the scene. CARLEE was gone, though, leaving behind everything, including her cell phone. Now, 2 days later, this is Saturday night now, she showed up at her house around 10:30 that evening, her parents immediately calling the police. CARLEE was taken to a hospital. She was treated and released. We also know police spoke with her some point at Saturday night. They took a statement from her, but they say that's part of an ongoing investigation that will continue. Those details have not been released. As you can imagine, it has been a very long and tiring days for CARLEE Russell's family, her friends, a number of folks in the community coming together, helping with those search efforts. Chip Scarborough joining us live this afternoon. And Chip, you have reaction from one community activist who helped with that search during that 48 hours she was missing.
And community activist Harry Traveling Shoes Turner took part in the search for CARLEE Russell over the weekend, and he says he's beyond relieved to know that she made it home safely. Turner, just one of several hundred people taking part in that search, gathering in the parking lot of the Hoover Met on Saturday afternoon to help look for CARLEE Russell. The crowd searching for Russell remained hopeful she would, in fact, make it home safely. And that's exactly what happened just a few short hours after crews wrapped up their second day of searching.
So I was already expecting that we was going to have that young lady back with her mama and her daddy. And if there's a kidnapper watching now, if there's an abductor watching us right now, if you have somebody locked up in a basement, locked up in an abandoned building, chained to a wall somewhere, let them go. Let them go.
And Turner says he and others who took part in the search over the weekend really just don't want to speculate right now about what happened after CARLEE vanished. They want to leave that to the police. I do want to let you know that we visited a motel just down Highway 31 from where we are right now. There was a report that CARLEE may have been there on Saturday night. I walked into the motel, was given a number for corporate communications, reached out to them. They told me they could not confirm anything. Any information about CARLEE's whereabouts would have to come from Hoover PD. We'll, of course, keep you posted. Live in Hoover tonight, Chip Scarborough, WVTM 13.
Okay. Well, we want to speculate tonight. What is it? What the heck was that? You got somebody locked up in your basement? Just let them go. Let them go. Let them go. At the end of the day, well, yeah, okay. If anybody, Deb, I feel like this was speaking to you a bit on this one. Just let Ray go. Let Ray Jones, free Ray Jones movement coming on here, down from Deb's basement. What do you think there, Adam? What you doing, Adam?
Oh, sorry. Well, I thought my camera was off, and then I was muted. I was like, no, I think keep Ray tied up.
Fair enough. Keep it there.
Ray thinks best when he's in a situation where usually he's Ray thinks best when he's tied up.
You're right. I agree. Totally agree.
Right. It helps elevate his mind past its normal gutter behavior.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Hey, can you do me a favor, Adam? Can you, by chance,
Hey.
see if you can find that News Nation clip that where they had a lawyer on? It was only one of those 5 minutes.
And Ray Jones, while I'm doing that, you never donated $5,000 to me on my birthday.
True. That's true. That's true.
Use Deb's account.
Okay.
Deb,
So
use Ray's account.
yeah, use Ray's. I still want to know what would be a possible motive for CARLEE to create a hoax if it is indeed a hoax.
My other mail didn't sound compelling.
What do you guys think?
Which News Nation?
It was the one where there was a lawyer and some long blonde-haired lady talking
About CARLEE, right?
Yeah, and I just remember it was on Ickmel's live. I remember he had pulled it up, so I'd watched pieces of his live stream. And if you guys want to listen to the scanner audio, Ickmel has the scanner audio full version in a sense of it, but he condenses down and weeded out all the other cruddy and stuff like that. But if you do want to hear, I put out the Red Roof one that he had posted like on Twitter. But I know that there was more I could have done, but I was like, Paul Plunder and Ickmel on Twitter, had put out the audio. I saw that. The audio is actually about an hour and something long, I think, total, of the scanner. Okay, not the 911 call, it's the scanner.
Right. I sent you the little clip of the Red Roof part 2. That's
like
60 seconds. Yeah.
The Red Roof one?
Like it's like it just says where they found the missing woman, CARLEE Russell, at the Red Roof Inn.
Oh well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I
know you play. I know you put a video. I know you.
Let me go. Let's see here. Let me just pull up Twitter. Ickmel.
Betty Major says most of us don't have basements in Alabama either. Betty, are you near Hoover or are you near Birmingham, where they're at, or are you just in another part of Alabama? Oh, Alexa, don't get me started on Rex today, because I worked all day, but the little bit I saw about Rex that came out today, I was like, with his storage unit, all the storage unit, and all the other weapons that they found and stuff. He had a doll, or they found a doll.
Okay, I haven't seen any of Rex stuff today. To be honest with you, I was too busy looking at the video footage again of CARLEE Russell. But one second
that
here.
I'm looking at the News Nation stuff. That one was a African American lawyer.
Okay, this is a 30-second clip. But hold on, let's play this one. The
female that's missing, CARLEE Russell. Her caller, family members at this location saying they received a call from the female that's missing, CARLEE Russell.
It's kind of hard to rewind it because the tracker's so.
754 unclassified complaint.
754.
754 unclassified complaint, 1466 Montgomery Highway at the Red Roof Inn, the front office. Her caller, family members at this location saying they received a call from the female that's missing, CARLEE Russell. .754 family members are saying they received a call from the female saying she was at this location.
.754 en route.
So I'm clipping this.
760 1851.
clipping this also for Twitter because they're going crazy over there. So I want to get the whole thing.
Be advised, child is now in the area of 3582 currently. The red roof.
1852.
Did they talk about the 6 cars for people yet?
26 of the responding units. I just spoke with the front desk clerk. They said that the family is not being hostile or anything like that, but that there was about 6 carloads of people that have just shown up over there.
Five 4 copy. Did the front desk have anybody checked in under that name?
Negative, and according to the front desk, the message that the family got did not state which Red Roof Inn. They don't know if it's going to be Vestavia or another location.
Thank you.
I think that might be the end of it. The part where they're talking about it.
52 and 5844 are on scene at Red Roof.
They're on scene at Red Roof. Yeah, the 6 load.
752, 754, 1853.
The 6 loads of cars. It could be family. Like there's.
44 on the road.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like family, I believe. Because they're.
744, 1853.
If it's your family missing and you're in the area, you're gonna come knocking on doors and shit, you know.
Okay, so let's stop that for a second and let's go back over to here.
I sent you the 3 News Nation ones from today, Sonny, just so you have them.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It was only from like an hour ago, so I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, okay. But we'll take a look in a second here. So this is the Red Roof Inn on Montgomery. So let's just take little dude down and go check it out. Okay, so this is the Red Roof one, Montgomery. Now, let's hold on a second. Okay, so this is the 11.5 for my marker. So just to give you a little bit of where's my other dude? Come on, dude, where are you? Oh, you're down here. Okay, this is down here where that Montgomery one is. Okay. Not really that far, but anyways, that's to show you. That's the marker up here. That's the Montgomery Red Roof right here. And yeah. I like Google Earth. I understand why Gray Hughes likes to play with it. Oops, where did I just go? Oh, let's take a little tour.
Oh, I don't like the way you said that because regardless of it, I don't want to think about it.
What?
I don't want to think about anyone playing with it.
With Google Earth?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe it was the name you said first.
Yeah. Gray Hughes.
Sure. He seems like he knows what he's doing.
Okay, let me just see what you sent us over here. So let me just take a boo. Let's see here. You said this one came out about an hour ago.
The Dan Abrams. Yeah, I didn't watch it, of course, but I sent three that were from today, and that one from an hour ago was the most recent.
Yeah, well, let's take a look, shall we? Share screen. Let's take a little boo.
Enforcement volunteers as well launched a massive 2-day search, but then she showed up at home Saturday night, seemingly okay. Her parents, who asked for the public's help in the search, now asking for privacy. And the police not providing almost any detail. Detectives, they say, are combing through numerous pieces of evidence collected from the time she went missing until her return home and beyond. This is a tedious process, but it's important to make sure everything is methodically evaluated so that we have the clearest possible picture of what took place from the time CARLEE called 911 until she returned home Saturday night. Look, I totally get the desire for privacy on any details, but not even sharing if she was kidnapped, lured, even if she was a victim of a crime at all. After all, the public went to great lengths to try to help find her. A man claiming to be her boyfriend says she was kidnapped. Thamar Simmons writing on Facebook Sunday she was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours, so until she's physically and mentally stable again, she's not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper at this very moment. Okay, if that's true, police can just say they're looking for the kidnapper, but they aren't even saying that. How is it possible she came back on Saturday, and now more than 2 days later, we still don't know in the broadest terms is there a manhunt underway? Is there still a threat to the public? We're all thrilled that CARLEE Russell is home safe, but the public is owed more information here. Is there more to the story? Joining me now, David Lamb, senior reporter at our affiliate in Birmingham, Alabama, who's been covering this story. David, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Isn't this all kind of odd?
Extremely odd. Well, part of the oddest aspect of this, Dan, is the silence. The family was very vocal when CARLEE was missing, very much in the community. The Hoover Police Department, same thing, really out there, had officers everywhere. But since that news came on Saturday night about 10:45 Central Time, the CARLEE knocked on her front door and returned home. There's been little said and little actually known and kind of broadcast about how she is, what happened, any sort of details. And it is puzzling and odd. I guess at this point, you can almost make more out of what is not being said than what is, and forced to do so at that.
Well, I want you to listen to the sound of an MSNBC report tonight, which to me made the story even more bizarre. Let's listen.
When I spoke with CARLEE Russell's parents, one of the things they mentioned was that they had warned their daughter about situations like this, saying that no matter how young a person who may seem in danger may appear, that it could be a trap and it could be someone using that in order to do something nefarious. And so when they heard that this has happened, literally the thing they said was, we have warned her about this. So certainly some concern there, at least from the parents, that this could have been some sort of trap.
That to me is totally bizarre, right? The idea that the parents warned her that there could be a trap where someone lures her with a child and then it happened doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't, and there are a number of aspects about this that really don't make sense. But if you try to connect some dots, you asked about the public being in danger, an imminent threat. The Hoover Police Department is in no hurry to conduct this follow-up interview with CARLEE Russell. That leads me to believe if there were an imminent threat, law enforcement would be letting us know. So they're in no hurry to do so. They say in the next couple of days they hope that will take place. I spoke to them today about that. Also, I was texting with CARLEE's mother, Talithia, and she said that they're not quite ready yet to make a statement, but they will. Whenever the time is right. The time is just not right now.
Yeah,
so that silence and that void continues.
Yeah, look, I did a segment on my Police Show on Patrol Live about her. We're thrilled that she's safe, but boy, I think the public is owed a little more here because this is bizarre. David Lamb, thank you.
Let me go to the other one before this and just see what it said. let's see here. 1 second. 1 second, Adam. I just want to see what the other one was. Oh, trial attorney is down. Okay, yeah, this is the one I probably want to see. This is a different one, but let me just stop screen, present, share screen.
We're joined now by Eric Guster, a trial attorney and legal analyst in Birmingham, Alabama. So you say you have some doubts about this story. Some things don't add up. What stands out to you and why?
Well, there are a lot of issues that are occurring in this story. Number one, being from Central Alabama, there has been no BOLO, no be on the lookout for suspects. And the Hoover Police Department has been very, very, very quiet about this. If there is someone who was abducting women on the side of the road, we would have descriptions. We would know who they were. We would know what kind of cars to look for, because all of us who live in the area were really on pins and needles for the whole weekend.
So how do investigators go about tracking her, do you believe, validating or invalidating the story that she told law enforcement?
Well, one of the things that they have is video. Hoover Police Department released video in reference to where her car stopped, because what do people do when they are not very truthful about events? They forget that there's video camera everywhere. And what they're going to do is they're going to track her cell phone, see where she went. They're going to look at, from what I understand, she was at a local motel, and they're going to pull camera footage from there. They will also ask to speak to people who may be persons of interest, people who may have helped her, people who may have seen her, and her friends and family and close people to her, to see exactly what they say occurred if they saw her that weekend.
Can you tell us a little bit about the mood in Birmingham when this story first broke? Were there a lot of people on edge? What was the sense in the community?
Everyone was on edge. I'm married, and I told my wife, don't stop for anyone who's on the side of the road. Just call 911 or call the emergency helpline. I called my family members and other friends. Make sure you don't stop, because everyone was afraid that there were some kidnappers on the loose. But now that she returned home on her own on Saturday night, and there's been nothing from the police department except a statement where they say they stated she called and said that there was a child on the side of the road. However, this I-459, the interstate, is a very, very heavily traveled interstate, and no one else saw what she claimed to see. So it's a lot of mystery behind this, a lot of tension, and people are actually relieved that she's fine, but really want to know what the whole story is.
Thank you for watching.
And yeah, that's the bottom line of it.
Wow.
Thanks for getting those, Adam. And just quickly, yeah, my grandma's last name is Blanchard. Well, she's passed now. My mom's passed.
I love
as well.
that.
What?
I love that name.
Which name? Blanchard?
Blanchard, yeah.
Yeah, actually, well, when I hear it, because it's not a very common name, but I've heard it a couple times now. Like meaning in there was one to do. Remember that guy that went missing? I think it was the doctor. I think it was the one where the doctor went missing or somebody. But anyways, I heard it a couple times now. But as soon as I heard Blanchard, I was just like, because there's only 2 lines that come down. And I remember I could go back to the 1460s, and it was actually started as Blanco. And then it turned into Blanchard. And then they misspelled it at some point. And then it was Shard as well. But there was 2 lines of Blanchards that come down. And so all these names I was seeing would, of course, veer off to the States, from Canada to the States, and then back up to like England and back over to like France and whatever. But there was like 2 Blanchard lines that kind of came down. But I didn't go off on the side thing or nothing like that. But anyways, I always liked that name. My legal last name was Brown, but my mom changed it to Blanchard at some point. And then when I lost my social insurance, my sister Paula accidentally put underneath Brown again. So my mom just said, whatever, just leave it. But I used Blanchard and Brown. I used multiple different names, to be honest with you, because I had multiple different names for last names.
Are you trying to hide from someone, Sonny?
No. It's just that my stepdad's last name was Belsham, and our last name was Brown. being born to our dad, William Brown. Then my mom was, of course, Gloria Blanchard, and she didn't want us to have his last name, so she changed us all over to Blanchard. And then my mom met John, and John wanted to adopt us, and I said no. No, I didn't want to take his last name, Belsham, because I didn't like it. Simple as that. And then so I used Blanchard and Brown at my banking all the time. And then next thing, then I married, and I was different last name, and then my husband now Austin. And so it was confusing to the bank sometimes with the Blanchard and Brown thing. So that's why I had to sign it twice. But anyways,
sounds like a law firm, Sonny. Blanchard and Brown.
Right.
Were you injured in a car accident? Call Blanchard and Brown.
Right. Or I might call that guy Eric. No, just kidding. So what I want to say is that this isn't absurd that people are questioning this. There's lots of reasons to question it. Exactly what you were saying, Adam, and exactly, about the fact of why aren't they looking for somebody? Why aren't they releasing that? Because this will come back to be that it probably, in my personal opinion, it wasn't true. It didn't happen, that it was some sort of plan, premeditated thing, hoax, whatever you want to call it. It was something, whether or not she was. I remember, I just want to say that I saw someone put on there, or someone say that it was like a money grab thing for the reward money, that it was a plan thing so that they would collect on the reward money and then basically call in. So, to say about a reward. So that's what I've heard out there. Another thing is that she was fighting with her boyfriend, and that this was her way of, trying to draw attention, but it went way past what it was expected to and stuff like that. I think it's going to be one of those cases. It's either going to be somebody else involved, and it was geared towards something, perhaps money motivated. I mean, there's always the main things of why people do things, but at the end of the day, I believe that this is, to myself, a fictitious story. There's nothing there along the highway. If she passed a child, she would have run out of that car. Any normal person typically, would have stopped their vehicle, got out of that car, went racing towards this child so he doesn't get hit by a vehicle. And that's just not how this played out. This car comes down the slow lane. I know, like Alexa in there is talking. You guys are talking about Mr. S. List guy over there, and I'll show you your pictures in just a moment, Alexa. But this case just bugs me because of the fact of it will probably come to fruition, in my personal opinion, that there's nothing worse than feeling like you were played for an idiot, and that all these resources were used, that somebody cried wolf when it wasn't true. So we'll wait to see what the actual outcome is. But in my personal opinion, I'm going to call this. I think that this was trumped up. But you just have to think of like the food and like, hey, was there food?
I do have a quick question. Michael Courtney says, you guys should give Gray Hughes a look. He knocked this out of the park. Michael, I don't think anyone would say anything bad about Gray. But I am curious, what do you mean he knocked this out of the park? Because, Gray Hughes is going off of the same information that that all of us have in this case. And so I'm not sure what do you mean by he knocked this out of the park? Because I'm not sure how you knock. And plus, that's kind of cringy in the way you said it. It's a true crime case. Knocked this out of the park. Like, we're discussing possibilities. How do you, knock something out of the park?
First of all, we actually don't really watch Gray Hughes. We're not a fan of his, to be honest with you. I don't watch him. I don't care whatever he does on his channel.
I have no problem with him. I just don't know how you knock it out of the park when there's limited facts.
I was gonna say he wasn't showing anything I didn't show on my video or anything that we talked about. Really, everyone has that same information. But if you feel like he knocked it out of the park, then so be it.
Yeah.
We're not fans of
I have no problem with him, but take a look at our videos and see if we broke it, if we knocked it out of the park too.
Yeah, maybe we're just
cool. Okay, good. Thank you for
So,
explaining.
yeah, I guess I should go redo my video. I guess I probably sucked at mine. Probably
It was horrible, Sonny.
it was probably a hoax, to be honest. Actually, don't even look at it.
Can I tell you really quickly what someone, I will not tell you who they were, but you know what someone told me about why CARLEE was found on Saturday night? They were kidding, of course, but
Oh, say that again.
What someone told me the reason CARLEE was found on Saturday night was
What?
because she didn't want to hear my bad microphone do any more videos about her.
Sorry, what somebody said. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Oh, you know what somebody said about me in the Gilgo case, the Gilgo Beach? That they couldn't stand the fact that I had mispronounced, because I think in my head I had it twisted like Giglo, not Gilgo.
Okay.
And so he said that he couldn't take me seriously because I mispronounced the Gilgo. So first of all, as for the Gilgo Beach LISK case, I don't live in America. I live in Canada. Okay.
Honey, you should have just responded. You should have just responded.
Okay.
My mental health. And then just like.
Anyways, I just basically went up one side of his butt, down the other, because I felt like it. I really can't stand people like that. Dude, get out of my freaking, don't come watch anything then, you useless piece of nothing. Because I just honestly, like, I said to the guy basically, so did you wake up just to basically bring me this important news that you can't stand watching me? Good. I don't care. I don't want to hear you. If you guys, if somebody can't take the fact that I'm not from the United States, if anybody watched the channel, and I'm from Canada, and I had barely ever heard of this case. And so, yeah, so I kept saying, in my head, I saw Giglo. So I kept saying Giglo Beach at the start, like the first day. And then I remembered it was Gilgo. I even had to redo my thumbnail like 5 times because I was like, God, I can't even spell homicide today. I was spelling that wrong too. Anyways, don't care less about those people. Those people make me laugh. To be like, I literally, when I see those, I laugh. You know, because it's just such a joke. Oh, so I'm so sorry that I couldn't pronounce because you live in the States and I couldn't pronounce something right. So you're not going to watch me. Oh, boo-hoo. Sorry for our loss. Yeah.
This wasn't a troll. It was someone that I was like, damn it, he got me good.
Oh, was it Tom Webster?
No.
No. But anyways, we're gonna leave that at here for tonight. And again, hopefully we'll get up-to-date information. I'm just gonna say that again, regardless of everything and anything, regardless of whether it was a hoax or not, she's alive. Her family is no longer, regardless, in torture of knowing where she is. She's home safe. That's who I care about in all this, is that CARLEE and her family and everyone she's at home, she's whatever, safe. And if something becomes more that it shows us that it was a hoax and whatever, yeah, everyone has a right to be pissed. I have a right to be pissed because we spent our good time. Like, seriously, I spent all day making a video, like literally almost all day, right? And then she all of a sudden, next thing I know, walks home, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, and that's when I was just like, okay, this is just not right.
And more importantly, I mean, we did what the family and the police asked. You know, they wanted, you know,
of course,
and of course, I would do it again, even if it is a hoax. I don't regret doing it. But
no, absolutely not. Because
you know, I think that the public deserves an explanation. If it was true, if she was abducted, and there's a threat to the public have a right to know that, and the police, I think, have a duty to inform the public of threats to their safety. As simple as that.
Yes, absolutely. No, you know what? At the end of the day, we're here for a purpose. And again, you know, nobody wants to feel like somebody faked something to whatever say a reason would be. I hope that's not the case, but I really feel it's going to be the case. There's nothing here that's showing. There's more red flags than there is actual things to believe that it truly happened. And I'm not buying it at this point. I'm just glad she's safe and alive. It's better than the alternative. And with that being said, Alexa had sent some pictures with regards to Rex
Right.
Heuermann's home. So Alexa, of course, is from Massapequa area. So she was trying to get some pictures, and she did. So that was very nice of her to send. I mean, I knew she had told me she had them, but I didn't bother to ask. I just felt like when she was ready, she was going to send them, whatever footage she did have. But anyway, so.
Hey, zoom in on that JLR.
Yeah.
Show us what you got there.
Yeah, JLR, Alexa. Alexa, of course, was trying to be very respectful of the boundaries. As she said that there was like a 2-block radius basically, and that they were having a freaking block party over there. And Alexa, that made me laugh a little bit today because I saw this thing about the block party on somebody's tweet, and they're like, "Yeah, that's how we do it in New York." You know, because the whole block party is probably sitting there having a block party talking about it all.
Right. Oh, look at the Christmas lights still in the tree, in the bushes.
Right. On there. Yeah, I think you said you had a video as well, but we'll do a live possibly on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday if you want to join us, Alexa. We can talk about it again if you would like.
Live from the scene, Alexa, preferably.
Yeah. If you could just go 2 blocks in, because they have it cordoned off about 2 blocks now because of all the, of course, coverage that it's getting. Like I think Alexa said, even from like the news media, it's like, okay, we got stuff to do here. People, leave us alone. So these were some of the photos. I think that's the same one. Is that the same one? Yeah. You sent me 4, but that's the same one, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. But anyways, Ghostbusters pretty much, eh? I put out a video the other day too, where they were showing all these people in that white little in these white little outfits in the backyard as they were, like the drone was hovering above there. And yeah, it's Jeff Fibro, if you didn't see it before, it's just Jeff H. But if you have trouble finding it, all you have to do is go Jeff H. Koberger, and you'll find his channel right away. I know, because Jeff isn't even in here.
He was live on the scene today. Oh no, JLR was live on the scene today.
I haven't even watched that dude in like weeks now.
I haven't either. Someone sent it to me today though that he was back at the Idaho house.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like I know the Drunk Turkey show was on tonight with some new information regarding the Koberger. I think it's something was released. Honestly, I'm behind on the Koberger stuff. I can't even talk about it because I'm gonna go back and watch the Drunk Turkey show tonight, and see what they were all talking about over there. I'll try to swing by.
Right.
Listen to her. I'll try to swing by tomorrow or Wednesday. Well, we're not going to be live. Oh, I see. You'll try to swing. Okay. I got you. Okay. Yeah. Just make sure you have on your sexy dress and your hair and makeup all done up nicely. Let those coppers let you in. All right, then. What's funny is that like CD, Analysis of a Crime with CD. He's from the, like the New York. And same with Duty Ron, and Duty Ron was driving around doing it. I didn't really watch him. I just caught him for like a minute. But anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of people, including Alexa here, that kind of live within that New York area. But Alexa just happens to grew up in Massapequa.
Massapequa. Yeah, and her stepdad went to school with Rex.
Billy Baldwin. Yeah.
And
because Billy Baldwin said that he was in his same school.
Yeah.
And Burner High School.
Burner, yeah, or Herner, yeah.
Burner. It was Burner. I think it was BERNER or something like that. But anyway, so
Which now in middle school, I believe Alexa said. Sorry.
It's what, yeah, right. But it's just so crazy. Like, we're not talking about somebody that robbed the store down the road. We're not talking about somebody that took one person's life. We are literally talking about an SK that literally lives right there in the vicinity of where Alexa had lived, you know, and just it's too, just that feeling of someone that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, of all the people in the world, dude has to live like right beside someone, like in that same place that like Alexa grew up, you know? Crazy sometimes, small world. I mean, this world is very small. I want to meet my doppelganger.
You have a twin, literally.
We don't look alike. I don't know. I've had many people tell me that they've seen my twin, but I'm yet to see my twin. I think that's kind of cool because I've seen it. I've personally seen it myself where I knew somebody and I literally seen a freaking version of them when I moved up to Whitecourt. And honestly, it was crazy. It's so crazy when you're looking at somebody, you know, and they're, you know, it's kind of like how people feel when you have identical twins. You're like, you guys all look alike.
Kind of like when you see Chris Hemsworth and then you see me and then you're like, oh, who's who?
And what's Callie been doing? Callie. Oh, no, go ahead.
And yeah, I was just saying, you know, we look exactly the same.
Yeah. I'm going to have to spend some time tonight catching up on the stuff that came out for Rex tonight, Alexa. Yeah,
Well,
but
News Nation has plenty of videos that you can catch up on. There were like 9 videos about Rex on there.
And what?
News Nation had like 9 videos tonight about him.
Oh, yeah. News Nation likes to have their little 5-minute clips everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. It was so creepy to find out about our,
Right.
Yeah, it really ticked me off. I made a video and I spent all the time doing it just for it to go yellow. And it's not like YouTube tells you. So like, kind of like the one live I did, Alexa, with you, when we did the live with you the other night, it went yellow after it was green the whole time, eh? Then it went yellow. So once I took out, like, and this is the stupid part, right? All I did was take out Alexa's name and the rest of that title, and I just left Giggalo Beach, and then it went green. That's how stupid YouTube can be with their, when it comes to, like, there was nothing in the title that was wrong. I don't use those words in my videos. I don't use them in my thumbnails and stuff like that. And usually fine. But honestly, true crime and YouTube are not friends. We are not friends. I'm just going to say that. We are not friends. And it drives me bonkers. There's nothing worse because I have a video sitting in here from yesterday that I spent all day on. I uploaded it the second time, tweaked it a little bit just to see. Nope, nothing. Still yellow. I go to the YouTube help. Oh, let's just call that a joke and a half, don't we? Okay, if you just want to get copy and paste answers, go to the support. Because other than that, they will not do anything for you at all. Like, seriously.
No, after you get frustrated, they'll then follow it up with, "Does this help? Does this help? Does this adequately answer your question?" No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Is there anything else I can help you with? Absolutely not. You've been useless every time. I've went to the support. I even sent back a thing where it said to rate, and I told them how suck butt their freaking useless thing is. I don't want to. Lady, so the lady made me believe that she could review the video, right? I was like, no, lady, look it. I was told last time if I clicked review, then I couldn't get the people to look at, whatever, right? So I didn't click review on it. And I went straight over to the support to say, like, hey, look at my video, turn it green, having a good day type of thing. Well, you need to click review first. Well, I was told if I click review, then you guys couldn't look at it, and then I would just have to wait. So here she makes it seem like shit. Okay, hey, yeah, I can help, but you still need to click review. Okay, but that's not what I was told. And then all of a sudden she's like, so we will get back to you with an email response, which means wait for the review. And I'm just like, honestly, if anyone wants to bounce their head off of a wall very badly, just go over and use the YouTube help for creators and just go, Oh, excuse me, can you just copy and paste? Oh, okay. You're acting like you can help, and then you're going to tell me how to do a review, even though I do. But thank you for copying and pasting those links. And that's all it is. It's just copy and pasting links. You know, just like the whole copyright strike had proof and all that stuff. And the only reason why it got retracted back down, that copyright strike, is because Sam took it down again for the second time. Because the first time they're saying it didn't. Anyways, true crime and YouTube, they really do need to have some boundaries for that, because it's ridiculous.
I've always said they should create a separate category of YouTube, kind of like they have YouTube Kids, and I think they need to have a separate category for true crime that encompasses the language and content that you need to be able to cover in order to cover true crime adequately. And I'm not saying you have to be gruesome, but
no,
you know,
that's just the thing. Is that
I personally think it's a disservice, you know, when you're talking about CP or topics like that, to not actually be able to use the word, because I feel like the word sometimes brings gravity to the topic that you're discussing. So
yeah.
You know.
Anyways, it's just so annoying, because my point is this: when I put out a video, news doesn't happen 2 days from now. Like, do you know what I mean? And it could literally take them 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And that's a crock of crap, because I literally don't have anything in there that is.
Well, and like like playing a news station's clip of a missing person. To me that define fair use. You're doing it to bring awareness to something, you know.
Well, the thing is that there's something in the video that the algorithm's catching, which is dictating it as, ooh, we need to stop and take a look here. No, there's nothing. I mean, do you want me to sit there and say that when somebody has a homicide, you want me to use cupcakes for the word? You know, it's just ridiculous. I use every safe word I can. And even in the thumbnails, I could literally, I just can't, seriously.
Right.
I get too wound up about it. That video, I needed to go out that day.
To do a true crime case, and you can't put the M word, the unaliving word in its, the M word in the title or on the thumbnail, because YouTube, if it's in the thumbnail, YouTube is like, nope.
No, the thing is that you were told that you can swear after so many seconds of the video. Okay? You can sit there and go, F-bomb, blah, 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 blah. I see people using the R word, M word all the time in their lives, and bigger channels too. And I'm just like, There's times I'll get away with it, and there's other times I won't. It's just frustrating, because when I made that video was meant to go out that day, not show him freaking being arrested, meaning Rex Heuermann, not to the Men in Black thing. You know, now, like I said, yellow. I'm sorry. That news is now old. Thank you, YouTube, for me wasting literally 10 hours of my day making that video.
Right. And then sadly, because then when you have a couple of yellows, then they automatically flag them all as yellow until you play nice enough that you get off the naughty list, in their opinion.
Yep. It's
but
honestly,
I don't want to go on and on about YouTube stuff, but
I can't, because honestly, it really takes away from it. It honestly does. It's a pain in the butt, and it's again, you're trying to follow the rules, do everything right, and it's just a pain in the butt.
Amen.
Yeah,
Grace.
yeah, and like I said, and then you try to go for help, and all you get is copy and paste answers. That's not helpful.
Right.
And so that's why I sent him a message back saying this is not right.
Right. And I feel if you set up a channel, and I feel like they should create a category for true crime. And and I think when you set up your channel, if you deem it, you have to either choose entertainment, news and information and things like that. But I mean, if you were able to deem your channel as true crime, I feel like it could then have its own list of guidelines, like all the categories do. And I think that true crime is a unique enough one that's big enough and brings in a lot of money for YouTube. That it'd be an easy thing for them to do, and it would help creators put out better content and make their job easier, because honestly, they wouldn't have to probably go through so many manual reviews.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is this. The whole point that you want your video to go green is because you want the ad revenue, as nominal as it is when you are a small channel, as nominal as the ad revenue is. Every time it happens, it sucks. But the whole thing is, imagine if we were like 100K channel subs and we had, 500,000 views and your video was yellow because YouTube deemed it as whatever. Meanwhile, so this is my pet peeve with it, is that, so if you put it out as yellow, it could take them 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Meanwhile, YouTube only pays you for ads when it's green, and you get very nominal income from it. So my thing is that you try to do everything right, be safe, be respectful of words, and try to keep everything, in a more classier way using it. And again, then you have to sit there and keep fighting this all the time. And it's just so irritating.
It doesn't stop YouTube from inputting the ads into the video. So even if, like, say, Sunny puts out a video and it's yellow, those ads still show up. But then YouTube gets the money, not Sunny.
Exactly. Us, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. I mean, so then YouTube, and the percentage that the creator gets is not anyway. But as long as the video is yellow,
it just makes me want to go
all of that money.
bake cupcakes, and honestly, it does. It's frustrating. There's nothing worse than putting.
And they don't pay the money back, or they don't credit the money to the creator once it turns green.
Yeah, I mean, people that donate on channels and stuff like that, or here and that, I mean, those are one of those things. Like those are kind of like add-ons, when people are out of their kindness do donations. But the point is, I'm not here to write off someone's donations. Meaning, if people want to donate because they like your channel and want to become a member and all that stuff, that's because they have a personal connection with this channel and support this channel. At the end of the day, the whole point for me when I create a video, of course, because videos are videos, that's your ad revenue, okay, is the videos. So when they turn yellow and you have to wait 2 or 3 days, when that information becomes irrelevant, and you just spent all that time working, and yet if I did a channel that created cupcakes and stuff like that, I'd have greens all the time, but yet you try to help people and do things, and then it sucks. It just sucks. It really does. And I just think that YouTube really needs to look at their process, because it's not fair. And I hate things that aren't fair. It drives me batty. And then when you go help from support, well, useless copy and paste answers. That's all you walk away with. You don't literally walk away with an answer. You walk away with, here's a link to go see how not to have a copyright. Here's a link to go see how to do a review on your video. Hello, I'm not asking for that. What I need you to do is quit copying and pasting me stuff and listen to what I'm asking you. And then at the end of the day, like yesterday when I was talking to them, I was just like, you know what? Have a good day. Thank you. Nope, don't need any more help. You have a great day. Cheerio. God bless, whatever. See you. Useless. Because there was no point. Anyways.
Look who's here.
I know. He was up here a little early. Anyways, sorry about that, you guys, but it just
it's frustrating. Yeah, of course. But I've said it for a long time. I think that, just creating a true crime category for YouTube would alleviate a lot of problems for them and for creators.
Correct.
Because you could then assign their own guidelines for that category, of acceptable things, the same as they do for everything else on YouTube. But I mean, if I ran Google, I would do that.
Let me put it this way. When you put out I'm going to say this my last thing. When you put out a video and you spend freaking 10 hours making the damn thing, okay? And then, and you put it out there, knowing that video might get $2, $5, because we're just a small channel in reality. We're just a small little channel. Okay, that video might get maybe, at a 10K view, you might get like $25. Okay, right? So, like I said, it's not like you're getting when you spend 10 hours, and people want to sit there and go, "Oh, you're making some money off YouTube," and then shut up, because it's not. Break down 10 hours into maybe like $5 off of that. Not even that. Probably more like $3. Okay, off of a 10-hour video. Break that and tell me how rich I am. All right.
Right. But that's not why you're doing it either.
No, but the point is that I'm willing to put in 10 hours on a video, knowing full well that I'll probably get $3 to $5 off that video. So when you have to sit there and make a video for 10 hours and then YouTube turns it yellow, type of thing, and that there's nothing wrong in it that should be flagged, and then you even edit it and re-upload it, and if you take it down, it still counts as that you took down a video that was yellow, so it goes into that little pile list of theirs, because you're not supposed to take down videos if they're yellow, and it's just it's like this, a circle that goes nowhere. That's what's frustrating. You work your butt off, knowing that you're just getting pennies in a sense of video. One day we're going to be on Oprah, Adam. One day. And somebody's going to watch that.
Wait, does Oprah have a show anymore?
Doesn't matter. We'll make her. And we're going to go viral. We're going to have 2 billion views. We're going to outdo Mr. Beast. Yeah.
That gives me anxiety. I don't know. Then I'm going to have to start paying for people's vacations.
So who's sending me something? The process has begun. Oh, that's cool, Jeff. Yeah. At the end of the day, again, true crime's not an easy place to be in when it comes to YouTube stuff. So I'm just going to say this. I recommend
Sunny said to me the other day, I'm done with true crime. No, I think you said I should be done with true crime.
Yeah.
It was because of YouTube.
Well, because at the end of the day, that I just got to make how to do a video, and those would turn green all the time, and you don't have to get frustrated about spending 10 hours making a video and stuff like that.
You want to know the secret, honey?
What?
Here's the secret. My 1.5, almost 2-year-old niece. I was watching the stupidest video in the whole world on repeat the other day with her on YouTube. And it was literally someone playing with a little doll, like an LOL doll. And they were literally just having it go, do, like with the doll. And they were like, oh, so-and-so is doing this and this. 20 million subscribers. 20 million subscribers this person had. And all they did was play with a doll and narrate something. They were like, oh, she's going to drink her milk now. And my niece is like, I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And there are 20 million people subscribed to this. I'm in the wrong genre.
Well, I think it goes back to the thing. If you share someone that's missing or share a funny meme, 90% of the people are going to share that funny meme and not care about the missing person. That's just life. That's just the facts. And that's just truth. Unfortunately, that's a cold, hard truth there. Yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. I see it all the time. And it just amazes me what people truly care about more as a society, as a world. And I always find it so absurd that somebody's going to share a funny meme before they share a missing person. But that's life. That's the world. It doesn't come out with it's just one of those things, you're just like, yeah, it doesn't shock me, to be honest with you. It'd be nice if it was reverse, but it's not.
Right.
It's not the way the world works. But at the end of the day, my thing was, I was going to say, if you're going to create a YouTube channel in true crime, then you should create a whole different entity of a YouTube channel and push that along with it. That way you have one that's just focusing on main things that don't go yellow, that there's just, hey, let's learn how to knit with Bouncing Betty today or something. And then have your true crime one or whatever. So that one doesn't give you a headache while the other one does. But, whatever. At the end of the day, I just don't like, I like things to be fair. And when things aren't fair, it bugs me, like I said, when you put in a hard works day and stuff, you just want to, here we go, post my video, thank you, or at least have a support that truly helps you, not copy and paste. Anyway, end of story on that one. Woo, yeah, that was my rant on that. It's because it makes my skin. It does. When you have to, if you're not a creator, you have to keep fighting stuff like that. It gets annoying. It sometimes it breaks you down where you're just like, why am I doing this? Seriously, why? Like, what's the point, right? Like, I'm trying to earn an income at home as well at the same time, putting, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do something that I love and feel compassionate about, but if it gets so off balance that all this work is like,
right.
Gets a little bit much on the nerves after a while. Just because it's like a circle. It's like a dog chasing his tail. YouTube, yellow video. You try to fix it. Still stays yellow. You go to support. Oh, got no help there either. Oh, back in the circle again. Back in the circle. And imagine every day working
But we
hard.
just play the game. We don't run the game. We just play it.
I know. If I was Mr. Beast, I'd be sitting down with the CEO right now, a freaking YouTube, and they'd be sitting there going, "Oh, Mr. Beast, no, of course you're not going to get any yellow videos, dude. You bring us so much money."
That's when you know it's okay, is once you get a direct phone number to call someone from YouTube, and you don't have to go through their whole rigmarole to someone. But yeah.
I just like fairness in life, and I just don't feel like it's fair. It's unbalanced.
No.
I need to go work for YouTube.
As my parents always told me repeatedly, life's not fair. So if you ever be fair, you're going to be disappointed your whole life.
Who said life was fair? My stepdad would always say that. I'd always say he'd go, "I'm going for a car ride," and I say, "Can I come?" And he'd say, "No," and I say, "Why not?" He goes, "Because I'm going crazy." And then he's like, "You're not allowed to come." And he's and I said, "Well, that's not fair." And he goes, "Who said life was fair?"
Well, I used to think to myself, well, if life's not fair, then maybe that's what should change. Maybe it shouldn't be my expectation of life. Maybe maybe life should change. Maybe life shouldn't be fair.
Yeah, why don't we own YouTube?
Right. We're all just supposed to be like, okay, yeah, life's not fair. So, but maybe life should be fair.
The bottom line is YouTube is no different than a Walmart, really.
A business.
It's a business. And when it goes up there to down there to the bottom, it makes no difference, to be honest. It really doesn't. That when you're a low man on the totem pole, you basically mean crapola. You'll become beneficial when you are, a big time YouTuber creating a lot of money, income, and stuff like that. Then you'll start being a somebody. Up until that point, you're pretty much a nobody, and that's like I said.
Ray,
here's our support system. But
yeah, Ray, I did say rigmarole.
Rigmarole, yeah. Anyways, that was a nice long gripe. I'm good now.
And I know we lost like half of the 40 people that were watching.
Oh yeah, but it's late though.
It is late.
There.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that late.
Yeah, my husband probably needs to go to work. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm still not angry. I just hold on. Let me just double check though. Let me just see. Did any of those videos turn? Actually, let's see what this live is. Let's see. Oh, okay. This live is green, but it still has a chance of turning yellow, like the one with Alexa the other night.
Once YouTube hears you talk about it that way, I love Google. I love YouTube.
YouTube likes it when I swear at them. They do. I swear, the more I swear at YouTube, the greener I get. I'm not even kidding. Like when we're on lives.
I always say before I go to bed at night when I'm doing my prayers, I'm like, thank you for you, YouTube, and all of the gifts you give me. Thank you for being such a wonderful avenue for me to work on.
I was gonna say I do love YouTube for that stuff. I do love the fact. I wish I actually would have done this stuff a long time ago. I never thought about that. Like that you could create a channel and stuff like that. I guess I was too busy doing life and didn't even know you could do stuff like this, like create channels. So I do love the fact that you can, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, is to create a channel. Like I'm gonna not just one channel, but work my way to multiple channels in a sense, so I can create different things that I love to do. Like I love humor. I love
I wish they'd
obviously.
had OnlyFans when I was in my 20s.
You what?
I wish they'd had OnlyFans when I was in my 20s.
Oh heck yeah! I'd so be on that so fast. I'd be like, "Oh, you want to see a little bit of this?"
I think
Ooh,
no, I could
perfect.
never.
I could. I would. If I could do back time, I would. I'd be like, sure. If I knowing that men. No, I'm not even going to go there with
No,
men.
I don't want to go there.
Just saying, it's like a female it's like a like Candyland basically.
Guys got to work harder.
Do you want to see the skin? Oh, that's going to cost you $2. So do you want? No, seriously. It's amazing what thing people pay for. Oh, whatever. Anyways, you guys, I think you've babbled on enough for the last half an hour.
I'm sorry I talked too much tonight. I've been talking about this case all weekend, so I'm like, it's the first time I've gotten a chance to talk to anyone really about it. So I apologize for talking too much.
Yeah, I know, right? I would never do such a thing like that. Anyways, man, ain't no one paying. For me, I'm just like I said, I wanna see the outcome of this story, because inside it, honestly, I just feel like it's a bunch of crap. Is my personal opinion on it, and we will wait and see. But there's too many red flags. I don't buy it for a second, to be honest with you. Just grateful she is alive, and that's the end of it. Good night, you guys. Alexa, see you perhaps on Wednesday night if you want to do a live. Other than that, Ray, get back down in the dungeon. Jeff, have a good night. Thank you. Jeff said, Sonny, I really think that the blurrier picture of this would look better than the unblurry. So I put this up for Jeff. And anyways, I'm going to go check out.
Jeff can do us a Long Island SK thumbnail for Wednesday night.
No, he's too busy now. See, Jeff got all motivated by this whole, okay, Jeff, you could become a creator too stuff. Like, it's like 500 people now and so he's like, he's all wrapped up in the whole Koberger stuff now, and he's well on his way to creating some content. He doesn't have time for that stuff for us.
I didn't even feel him stepping on us.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just playing. But we should see if CD wants to come on Wednesday night.
No, no, because I already thought to ask CD, but CD is always busy. That. I mean, I would like him to, but he's usually busy. So I just usually, I know with CD, he just doesn't have a lot of time, and the time that he does have, he gives it to his family first.
Right.
But I would like to have him. Alexa, why don't you ask CD? You tell CD, get on Sonny and Adam's live. Yeah. Just because he's from New York.
And he's been interested in this case. So I know, living and being a police officer in the city, he followed this case quite a bit. So
yeah.
He might jump.
Yeah. Thank you for, I think it was, I'm just trying to think of the person that donated. Let me just quickly look at that to say thank you. Oh, that's husband right there saying, are you almost done? That's him going, I need to go to bed. Let me just take a look here. Let me just make sure that my videos are still yellow. Yep, still under review. Probably another day or two, at least. I've had ones go freaking 10 days. Literally. One even 15 days. Let's see here. Grace and Grit joined today. And as for the super, so thank you, Grace and Grit. Now, it was Betty. I thought it was Betty. I wanted to make sure, though. Betty. Yeah. I couldn't remember, but I thought it was Betty, but I just didn't want to say it, and I was wrong on there. So thank you, guys. And yeah, I recommend it, you guys. There's so much space out there in the true crime world or any other thing. You know, I really hate it when I hear people say nobody wants to listen to what I have to say or blah, blah, blah. There is a ton of people that will listen to everyone and everyone. You guys know this. You guys watch people from all different walks of life, different areas of the planet, and you guys watch those YouTube videos. So why wouldn't they watch you? You know,
Right.
so
Sometimes you see video people and you're like, why would someone watch this? But people do.
yeah, but honestly, when I just hate it when people have that attitude, like no one wants to listen to what I have to say. Yeah, there is. Quit having the negative attitude. Get off the pot, because there's tons of space for everyone, and you just have to find your own niche, you know, in it and stuff like that. But there's tons of space for everybody, and why not? Like, you know, if you like to speak out and you like to talk and you want to show your own facts and different things, go create a channel. If you're not, yeah, I don't care if it's about baking because you like bacon. Go make a baking one, right? Again, you can just grow the channel. Doesn't mean you have to put up a thing every day and stuff like that. Anyways, I always recommend people to, you know, if they're passionate about something, you know, and you're not scared to, you know, show yourself on a live or talk or whatever, and, you know, maybe you are, but YouTube really wants people to start showing their faces now than just hide behind a thing. But anyways, then of course I recommend it. Why not? Why not?
Oh, before we go off, I didn't really, like, I'm ready to go. But I will say, do you know our poll, Sunny, has ended up at 40%. Was it all a fake out, and 40% unsure what to think?
Yeah. Well, the 40% are absolutely correct.
Yeah. Which 40%?
I know, that's why I said that. I'm hot and I'm sweaty, and my husband wants to go to bed.
Only 4% of the people say she's telling the truth.
Yeah, you tell CD to get his butt on here. Yeah, because I feel like don't let CD see that he's seen this though. You tell him to get his butt on here. At least that our podcast. Yeah, right, a podcast too.
Charles,
right?
that's what Charles. My friends and family are so tired of me talking about true crime. Everyone I know is tired of talking about true crime.
That's not very supportive.
Some people on YouTube are tired of me talking about true crime.
That's not being very supportive. If they're sitting there saying they're tired of you talking about true crime, you know, type of thing. If something's important to somebody, especially if they're a family member, they should damn right be supportive, you know, type of thing. But most people aren't.
Honey, I've had some family members be passionate about some really dumb things, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? Whatever to them. Anyways, you guys have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Thank you guys very much. And okay, yeah, we're out of here, right, Adam?
Yep.
Finally, right? Finally. Deb's like, get the hell off. Okay, we're gone. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.